got it. So, which is the best ice cream, man? Statistical
Sardine.
analysis, man.
Oh God, no.
Wait. No, hang on.
You might like
Efrix,
that.
Efrix might like that.
Oh no.
Although I think Denobulans are less fond of fish than, like, I don't know, Cardassians.
Yeah, Cardassians
whenever I
would
think
love
about-
that.
Yeah.
Whenever I think of ice cream in Star Trek, all I think of is
Shoot.
yes, and of course, as we all know, Star Trek is very good at non-conventional mold-breaking female characters. Smash cut to Deanna Troy saying, "I've never met a chocolate ice cream I didn't like. God damn it, Troy!"
Mm-hmm.
So
Hey, some molds aren't worth breaking.
Fair.
Everyone likes chocolate. Everybody.
yeah.
You all must.
It's a requirement. One of us.
Oh dear.
Cut to all of the Vulcans just high out of their minds.
Oh no.
I don't know.
Ooh. Oh yeah, I finished the first game, it was a two-parter. I finished the first game for the Ganymede Sunday. It went well, although the captain did not like the reputations because he got screwed on it.
Yeah, no one likes it when they first get it and it's like, oh, I went down. It's like, well, it's not bad that you went down. There's story things that can come up because of that.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, he rolled 4 dice. He rolled 4 dice. He did well. Like, he did very well. Like, he did everything he was supposed to. It just so happens that he rolled a 20 and didn't roll any successes. And I was like, oh, that sucks. Like, by all accounts, you should have gotten something there.
You could do everything right and still fail.
I know
Meanwhile,
that.
I've just been holding on to one reprimand forever.
Yeah.
Like, for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
But I
You haven't
kind
gotten
of...
any more. You just have that one reprimand on your file.
Exactly. But I kind of like the flavor of that. It's like... Starfleet has a touchy history with artificial intelligence. Of any sort.
Oh yeah, they're always super judgy.
Mm-hmm.
I always seem to go up a lot of reputation when I do something dodgy or shady, but when I do things perfectly fine, it's like, I don't know about that, Chief.
See, we hired you on because, well, of your particular skill set.
Do you mean you committed no war crimes? Down on your reputation, down.
Am I like, where the... Oh, fudge.
Ooh, fudge.
Oh, here's another one for Efrix and Vada. Last week, we had our first GM swear.
Oh?
At least
yeah,
first one in
what did
a
you do?
while.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it over? I forget what it was over.
He was just trying to explain something and it was just followed by some fuck.
Tensions were high, if I recall. So I think that was when the building was about to blow up, I want to say. But I don't recall it
I
precisely.
think I only have like one question before we start the game.
No, you can't choose characters.
No, god damn it. Yeah. I think it's
That sounds like me GMing.
it's hang on. It is in regards to I just had it. Oh yes. If we've accomplished if we've helped out with any of the evacuation efforts on the planet, or if that's something we're going to be doing in game.
That's something you have to do. Because you haven't gotten authorization to send people down there.
I thought we did that
or
at
to
the end of
beam
the
anyone up.
episode. Didn't we do that at the end of the episode
Yeah.
by saying that there was a breach in
Oh,
navigational
yes.
stuff? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We
It's a
got
matter of
authorization
determining-
and called in the Kismet.
So you just need to figure out what resources you're dedicating to the effort.
Mhm.
Okay. Point being, we're picking up more or less where we left off. No time skip to, the people are safe, and now we're gonna decide what we're gonna do.
Like the Kismet just got back, and
Okay.
you've beamed up. So the senior staff, the Tiger Squadron staff, senior staff have all come over to the Kismet to kind of talk about what's happened and what they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think the captain is going to call a senior staff meeting. This is too time sensitive for that.
People are actively suffocating.
Yeah, like people are actively suffocating. He's
Can
probably
they
going to
switch
go
to passive?
straight to...
So you're sitting on.
Passive
So you're talking to each other over subspace then, from ship to ship, I presume.
Likely.
Or
God, can I stop
Yeah.
joking?
yeah,
Fucking hell.
yeah.
No, it's not allowed. Sorry.
Actively, Barter is actively.
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
So
Yeah, because
Grin-
Brennan can order squadron commands from the Peltist, right?
yeah, he can. He's the flag officer of the squad, so he can choose whatever ship he's on to be his ship. He's the senior officer. It's over here as well. I presume both ships are at yellow alert with shields up at the moment.
Oh yes.
Oh, that is my choice. Yeah. Huh.
Okay. We ready to go?
Oh, you're the senior officer on the Kismet again.
I'm
What?
good. Yeah.
Yep. Already.
Just make sure Pen's good.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. As soon as Penn gives me the go ahead. Penn?
Live.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. Captain's log. Stardate 55377.1. The USS Kismet has just arrived at the USS Peltist's location, which is very good, as evacuation efforts are currently about to begin on the planet below. I'm still commanding the squadron from the Peltist, at least until the situation has been brought under control. Then I plan to regain control of the squadron from the Kismet herself. End log.
So we begin mere minutes after the Kismet has warped into position and taken orbit and follow path with the Peltist around Delphine Prime. Without much ado beyond that, your ships bring up hailing frequencies, and you're both talking to each other from your respective bridges.
Okay. Oh, hang on a second. I have to rejoin as a player. That's why I can't see anything.
Perfect.
So who would be on the view screen for the Kismet?
Varder and Efrix would be present. Efrix, you would have been made aware to get up to the to either get to your computer and be conferenced in, or you were on the bridge because there's a medical emergency the Kismet's going to have to attend to rather quickly. So your input is imminently needed.
Mm-hmm.
Eminently
Varder, you're
needed.
the commanding officer of the Kismet for the last few hours, which that was an unfortunate thing that happened, but
Yeah.
you know.
Believe it.
This is Captain Grennan to the USS Kismet. There's not much time. I have orders. I'm going to have our tactical officer forward you coordinates. You're going to need to start beaming out individuals from these coordinates as fast and as many as you can. Use the cargo transporters if you have to. Dr. Efrix, you're going to need to prepare for a full medical triage.
Oh, I don't have my sheet open. Hang on.
Okay.
How dare you not be prepared?
It's been a couple weeks. I'm rusty.
It's okay. I'll forgive you someday.
Oh.
I won't.
Oh.
Wow. Rude.
Oof.
Okay.
Rude.
I mean, that's fair.
Hang on,
Let's see. What do I got?
just a sec.
Insight medicine. Emergency
Yeah,
as a focus,
I'll take it.
or xenobiology.
More the former than the latter.
Okay. Do. What's the difficulty?
2.
2.
Okay. Ugh.
First roll of the new year.
I'm back.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I get one
I made it.
You did make it.
You made it, yep.
Mhm.
Chain of command. Question mark.
For your thing?
Yeah.
Yes, actually. Surprisingly, it hits it on the head.
So guys,
Have a
do I
threat.
want to spend my determination?
I feel like you might need it later.
1 second. There we go. Look at that. We'll just ignore it.
Well, but I do have veteran,
Later.
and I have some milestones for medical
Fair.
Also
emergency
just
stuff.
ignore.
I mean, if you want to.
Oh, well, geez, Varder.
Yeah, I gave the GM a threat.
I'll take that threat.
I don't suppose I could use the
No.
momentum that he gained.
Unfortunately, not. I can't spell.
Well, nothing new
Same.
there.
Feel like I'm gonna get incorrect information.
Uh-oh. Well, because you succeeded, you're gonna have to get some correct information. There might just also be some misinformation mixed in there with it.
Yeah. I got an also.
Or the console just explodes in your face.
That would be really funny.
Warp core breaches, everyone dies.
Well, as long as it's not on my
Wow,
ship.
that's a lot of people. Oh boy.
So that's your information. I'll get on with your security guy to have a slight revelation of his own.
It is me, security guy.
Captain, I'm not sure that it's safe to transport people out of the area.
Why's that?
Too much EMP interference.
Well, we don't have time for any other, we don't have time to make any other evacuation. Those people are going to be suffocating in minutes.
Captain, I have a possibility.
Yes, Smith.
While transportation of organic matter would be dangerous, it would be much simpler to set up our transporters to provide an emergency life support for the affected domes. We could transport in replicated air. It would be energy intensive, but
It would buy
minor
us
alterations
time.
in chemical structure of air molecules should not prove to be disastrous.
It'll buy us time.
Precisely.
Unfortunately, from the scans we're looking at, 91 persons that don't have time.
See.
Are they suffering from anything aside from hypothermia and atmospheric instability?
They need critical care.
See.
Is that something that I could find out, GM?
Insight medicine, because you have
Another
what
one?
little the Peltist has been able to tell you, what little the
Yeah.
Kismet's cluing into. Like you're kind of getting reports as you're talking with these people. With them.
I'm gonna spend a momentum for cautious, because
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
xenobiology or emergency medicine or
Xenobiology I will take.
okay. New Year, send me.
Oh no.
Oh.
Bruh.
It's gonna be one of those
Guys,
days.
I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be good at this shit.
Yeah.
I got a 15. I'm so mad.
FRX.
Captain, there is the security threat of these people are not Federation citizens. They are Protectorate, and a Protectorate with a particularly aggressive desire and culture regarding acquiring technology and wealth.
Well, right now, they're a protectorate, and we need to protect them.
We'll need security in the rooms with them. And
Well,
I
that's
mean
for you
close
to-
security.
Well, that's for you to work out, Varder. Right now, we need to figure out a way to get them up here. You said that there would be interference from... there would be electromagnetic interference. Is there any way that we can punch through that?
Lodge's
I could
input
attempt to
on
do
that.
so.
Which is sort of
Or
my way of
next.
asking, what's the difficulty increase?
I will respond to that once I shoot a message at Efrix here on that last roll. You have a succeed at cost. You're getting
Okay.
information, but it's incomplete information.
You have one job, Efrix.
Lots of jobs. What are you talking about?
We all have lots of jobs.
Just apparently one of those isn't rolling well.
Yeah, no, everyone rolled great last time. It was. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, just, blow up a city. That's what you do.
Hey, I mean, I tried. I put quite a bit into that fucking roll.
Oh, definitely. You put as much as was reasonable into that roll.
Yeah. And you were close.
Captain, it's hard to know
Really?
as far as the injured because, well, frankly, sir, there's a lot of corporate bureaucracy that's slowing down the reporting of injuries.
Of course.
A lot of the inhabitants seem to be heavily modified with cybernetics, which isn't my specialty, also. And some of it's already more harmful than it is beneficial to the recipients. So some of them are suffering prior issues.
Well, those are problems that we'll have to deal with once they're once we're actually able to help. As it stands right now, we're sitting here doing nothing.
That's a big threat spend.
Oh no. How much did he spend?
5.
6.
Oh.
6.
6.
Oh.
8.
How much did he spend? Enough.
That's why.
Huh.
Definitely need Vada on that.
Oh, he increase the transporter roll by like a metric ton?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's see.
She'd probably be clued in anyway. She's head
Yeah,
of
she's probably-
engineering
she's
for
either-
for the whole squad. So
Yeah.
Okay. Diff 5 comp 2, and is that before our sensors?
That's after.
Hmm.
Oh, that's after our sensors bring it down.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
Oh, that's blah. That's not what I like to hear.
Yeah, your engineer kind of tells you, explains at length the complications between the EMP interference that's already in effect, which is, and there's no real efforts to clean that up because most Federation worlds have safety systems in place in the event of an EMP threat of some kind. This place isn't advanced to that degree. They do passive shielding, not any active Terra scrubbing, because they don't do terraforming here. They're too low tech. They just have their little domes. So their little habitats, if they're physically shielded, which a lot of the cities were, you're fine. If you're not, like the 3 cities that weren't, then everything's just starts shorting out. So now the cities are basically flooded with this energy, and it's complicating. There's no active system purging anything now. So you have all this just hanging around, plus the ambient technological barriers and material barriers.
Would our navigational deflectors
I was going to say.
be able to clear out something like this?
Yeah, would a pulse from our deflector? Would a pulse from the?
Well, that's not
pulse
quite what I was going
deflect-
to ask. But
Yeah, yeah.
would
pulse from the
navigational deflectors clear out this kind of interference?
Theoretically, but it's imagine someone put a dump truck full of golf balls in front of your house, and if you have a broom, you have a big enough shovel, you can push it around. It just takes time to push it all out of the way, but you could do it eventually.
Yeah, I was going to suggest taking the Kismet into the lower atmosphere. Well, there isn't really an atmosphere.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
taking the Kismet into a descent
Close.
vector, essentially.
yeah.
Kind of
Basically being close to the surface.
just be a snowplow and go up right next to the dome and then beam them out. Basically.
You could, but keep in mind that each of these people are spread out across 3 different domes.
Yeah.
Right, but all the domes would have had to at least be on the same hemisphere. I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
there isn't a
The blast wouldn't penetrate easily through the planet's surface.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have an atmosphere that would cause, like a thick atmosphere might cause that to reverberate.
In theory, you could. It would be it'd be this kind of roll. It'd be Darren Khan. Diff. Diff 3. Assuming
much would
nothing
that
gets more
lower-
complicated.
And how much would that lower the difficulty of trying to beam people out at the specific dome we'd be near?
You could knock down either the complication or diff by 1.
All right.
Basically, you're creating an advantage, but the advantage is a little more difficult because at base it's already kind of a hard task to do. Because you kind of have to park the ship as close as you dare to a habitat that may or may not be unstable.
Right.
Because
and
maybe
the,
another nuke goes off and you want to be able to have an escape vector in case something bad happens.
the Kismet is not rated to land on planets. I believe.
But we've done it before. It might have been a crash landing, but we did it.
You can land, takeoff's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
would the Peltist also be able to join in on this descent and assist with clearing the path?
To a degree, yeah.
And the thing is,
As a smaller footprint is the only issue.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a smaller footprint, but it's better than nothing.
And also the Peltist can't beam people out, so it's whether or not it's worth the risk to the Peltist.
Might there be some intelligence file on unshielded transportation through such similar interference?
You could activate that as your role ability as a top secret transporter technique that you could authorize the ship to use this time.
It's like, right, well, sometimes we need to beam someone into a place with radiation without being caught. This is how we do it.
Oh God!
It's not perfect.
Yeah, it's actually, you know what? That's a good thing to spin thread on. It's a thing you can totally do, but it is using a technique that is inherently it's not recommended by the Starfleet Corps of Engineers, so it's actually considered an unsafe way to beam people. But if through intelligence files, well, we've done it already. The other intelligence people have already done it. It does work. You just have to be careful with what you're doing and know what you're doing. It's a Romulan beaming technique that you've learned.
Oh, fantastic.
But it's one of those things where it's like, someone in Starfleet Command might be annoyed with you doing it that way.
So
it's a rep thing.
It's a tactic.
It's a tactic.
Okay. So with it being a tactic, I can use the Grand Guide Order of Tactics to double this advantage.
Well, I would have to say no on that line. No.
I tried.
Just to say, I've got a suggestion.
Have a chat. I'll look that up.
So, considering that the Kismet and the Peltus's systems, generally for, say, scanning ships, are linked together, would it assist the general role if, while the Kismet stayed in orbit, the Peltus went down and used the Peltus as basically a broadcasting beacon to help acquire signals?
Doable, but it would be a trade-off thing. So you'd either, if you reduce difficulty by 1 through that method, it would increase complication by 1, or if you reduce complication by 1, then it up difficulty, because there's that lag of beaming because you're beaming from there to the Peltus up to the Kismet, so there's a slight relay, which there could be a screw up, but it's possible because you're kind of being a booster to the beam. And target acquisition, because you're closer, so you can see the target and go, there it is. No, really, it's there. We promise.
So if we use that top secret beaming technique, what are we looking at? Roll-wise.
Basically, you could bring down either the difficulty or the complication down by 1. And then same with the Peltus maneuver, the Peltus booster, it'd be that one shifts things around. So you could bring the diff down again, but it ups the comp by 1.
Yep. So make it a diff 4 for that beaming thing.
Which theoretically sense. Diff 3, comp 3. If you're focusing purely
if we're doing both.
Oh, I was meaning with the Romulan thing also ups the comp. No, wait, never mind.
Yeah, comp's already at 2.
Yeah. So I'm saying with the Romulan thing specifically, I'm saying difficulty down, because it makes it easier to do. It's just, well, there's complications if you don't do it right.
Well, it's a rep thing. If you use it, it's considered a unsafe thing to do, and you'll be knocked for using it. But you'll get points for saving people. So
so it evens out.
Depends if it's worth biting the bullet. Really
I bite the bullet regularly.
Mm.
Did you lie? Well, yes, but did you really want me to tell them the top secret thing?
One other possibility is we could try this would probably be expensive in terms of like resources, but we could try like deploying transport enhancers.
Time to.
Couldn't we just unload a bunch of sensor probes down there? Because that would help get us a better
Lock.
Oh,
Sensor probes don't have shielding. They'd the
Oh,
EMP,
God damn it.
they're very you'd have to modify probes, which would take time. It's doable, but you'd have to have time the probes.
the probe shouldn't die
reconfigured for that.
immediately. All right, they should survive for like a minute or two, and that's about all we need to get a bunch of people out.
It would be
Like it's just spending
Someone-
extra resources to save lives that we wouldn't normally spend, but
in essence, you'd be creating an advantage via, I'd say, control engineering to have them ready to go, set up, fired, and knowing, and then figuring out through your engineering department exactly how long you have to beam things, and then the probes might die, or even doing minor configurations to give them just give us an extra hour longer, and maybe that should help to create an advantage of those sensor probes coming in.
how many probes do we even have? I don't know.
As many as you have torpedoes, you just take the warhead out and put in a sensor configuration instead of the warhead.
How many torpedoes do we have?
Most ships have at least 100.
I was gonna say we're not Voyager. We don't actually have to keep track of that.
Well, usually it's because your complement's so large, it's not worth counting.
Yeah, I'm just
previous systems you actually did count them, but before STA.
Like we've got, would the engineer doing or whoever's doing the roll to calculate that be unable to do the transport roll?
Yeah, because they'd have to be the one directing the efforts later if you wanted them to keep doing it.
So Vada couldn't do that. Well, she could, but then someone else would have to do the transport.
I can go over to the Kismet and do the probes.
And we've got linked systems. You can do it from the Peltist.
Fair, I can do it from the file system. I can do probes, and then Vada can be free to do transport.
Which the probes is another advantage? Question mark.
If you pull it off, yeah.
Yeah, if we pull it off. Okay. Who wants to do Vada?
I think let's start with the probes because that's kind of the least.
Sorry, yeah, myth.
Risky.
Derp.
Kind of
Got
the least
that the wrong
risky of the advantages.
Well, yeah. Oh, the risky one for me is my reputation. So I mean,
Fair, but like.
What
In terms of order of operations here.
the reputation you gain 6 on most weeks.
I'll gain 6 on most weeks.
All right, so what's the difficulty on that roll, Jam? The
Two.
Engineering. Cool.
Control engineering 2.
Take 1 threat for bold.
Okay.
Focus in unified field theory.
Yes.
Oh, and would I be able to, when it comes time for Vada to make the roll for transporting,
5.
would I be able to direct?
You could. You just wouldn't be able to direct. At the time, you could, yes, because you'd give the order to do the beam.
I get 2 of those per scene.
So yes, you have the advantage of Myth having calculated rather quickly precisely how long and with what very rapid configurations you could, very ad hoc configurations, but it'll be enough that the probes will be there, but the probes will just die after a certain amount of time, which that should be enough.
Right, it's giving us a window.
And if it isn't, fire more probes.
Yeah, essentially.
Essentially, that's our source. Well, we could modify the probes to last longer, or we could just keep firing probes.
We'll resupply after.
So that's now what Div 4 Comp 2 we're looking at.
Could we spend 2 more momentum to say that the probes will stay longer?
Well, that's what the advantage you're even creating was. Because the only way to make them last longer would be more time. To actually, because you could put in shield emitters in the darn things. It's just normally you don't put those in because they're energy intensive.
Like we have probably like 2 or 3, like whatever class 5 probes I think it is. They're like fully shielded and have a small warp drive.
We're gonna need the momentum for the big roll anyway.
Yeah. All right. So set up that advantage at diff 4 comp 2.
And then, do we want to do the flyby? Was just another advantage, right? The daring con.
Well,
yes, but it increases comp.
Okay.
I mean, I think at diff 4, what we could just do is have Vada make the roll and spend a determination. I direct and spend 2 momentum.
Yeah, I think.
Would it be possible to, now that we have the advantage of the probes, to create a different advantage of targeting with the probes to get the best spread for the best possible signal?
I'd have to say no, because really you're just firing. Each probe will be able to cover quite a bit of real estate that its targeting won't really change. Actually, the way you could use that advantage, now that I think about it, because I was thinking that the way you might have done it was firing a bunch of probes, like a ring around something, so that way to find the easiest way to beam through and beam through that. But then I thought the advantage you could create at this point is creating a instead of around a single target, spreading them out across a line on a planet. Because these probes are meant to scan like from Earth to Mars, like a massive amount of space in one pulse. That's why they're so powerful. So if you spread them out a little bit on a planet surface, then you could feasibly target 2 areas instead of just 1, which could speed up your beaming process and make it easier.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily easier. Sorry, I take that back. Not necessarily easier, but faster, which is a weird way to put it.
Speed is key. So
faster is what we want, though.
Would you require a roll for that, or just a spend?
That'd be another roll. I would call that insight. No, it's something security. I'm not sure what though.
Control, because you're having to place them.
Yeah, control is fine-tuned very particular things. Yep, control security. Diff 2 because it's an advantage. I have no real reason to come after you for it because the area doesn't have a navigation.
Do you want me to do that, or do Vardas do it?
Yeah, the nuke solved the navigational problem.
I mean, I'm
Used to be
assuming
much harder.
if it's firing
You're not
torpedoes, then
wrong.
tactical systems would work, right?
Yeah, because it's probes are fired through the tactical system. You're
So I
firing
guess
from the same. You're firing from the torpedo tubes. It's just not armed.
I'm gonna say, I guess I've got a focus then penned, so that's up to you.
There, go for it, man.
I spend the threat, control security, focus.
Boop,
Yes,
boop.
that's an advantage. Fish.
So you're sitting at diff, not 5, not 4, but 3. I presume.
I think that's a good place to be.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
have 1 float.
Regarding that last roll.
Spend the float and that 1 to create an advantage where using them in this way actually uses slightly less probes in total.
Oh, you could do that, and I know how that mechanically would help you down the line. If you wanted to do that.
Sure.
All right. Then who wants to roll Vada?
Not it.
Oh, are we doing the roll then?
Yeah.
You don't want me to do it.
Okay.
Sure. I'll do it, I guess.
Vada, lock onto those signatures and energize. And I will
Yes, sir.
direct.
I
Set up
will
triage
choose
downstairs.
support.
Someone on the bridge mutters, "Yeah, this isn't crazy or anything."
First time.
Team dynamics.
Sign up for a tour on the Kismet. It'll be fine, they said.
Who told you that?
Lucas?
They lied.
The Kismet has never been anything but trouble. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And then Varder, you have security precautions set up.
I need to.
Cool.
And I need to get triage
Yeah.
set up too.
We need to. The ship itself isn't ready, but it's more of we need to beam them and then receive them.
Yeah.
The order of operations needs to be reversed because of the space or the time required.
You might
Yeah.
not even have to spend determination.
Yeah, I'm not planning on it. I'm planning on saving that for a reroll if I need to.
Cause
Spend
3 momentum.
spend 3 rolling 4. Focus in transporters.
Yeah, and someone roll the ship.
Cautious. Reroll that one.
Oh yeah, she's got cautious.
Determination.
No,
Reroll
you
that
don't
column.
have to. Wait, you don't have to. Born near a warp core.
What does Born Near Warp Core do? It's not on the sheet. Well, like the talent's on the sheet. but the
You
description's-
roll a challenge die. If you get an effect, the complication never happened.
All right.
Because Booleans are very good at adjusting the complications.
Nope.
Not this time.
Nope.
Not this time.
And it's
Yeah,
a once per
fine.
scene
It's
power.
worth a shot.
All right. I am
You
going to
power
spend
for bullets.
determination then for
You could buy it off.
To what
either.
value?
mission directive.
Yeah.
All right. And
This
reroll
is the primary
one
mission
again.
of the Kismet at the moment.
There we go.
All right, so the beaming efforts are underway in a stable manner. So at this point, it is a straight up extended task roll to just deal with. There's actually 2 extended task rolls going on. One is processing and treating all the people to a point that they're
Mhm.
stable and you have control of the situation. The other is making sure, as a security matter, that no one's doing anything they're not supposed to be doing, or no one's faking an
Squint.
illness just to get aboard.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I
that's a
mean-
thing people here would do.
Faking suffocation in a dome city is kind of
Seems hard.
the faking it is a little bit less of a concern. It's more, are you trying to go anywhere?
Anything
You're not
about that
going
beaming
anywhere.
roll? Because there's a bonus floating around.
Spend 1 for, or spend the 2 for an advantage where it's a smooth transition from one dome to the next.
Sure.
All right, we finished on this dome. Go to the next one. Not. We finished on
Hey,
this dome.
guess what?
I have to redo everything.
Guess what? Guess what? I get to order again.
Nice.
So
Crisis management.
It's a great talent for captains.
Unfortunately, I can't do it this one more time. But
Until the scene changes.
Control
Security.
medicine.
Hey,
because you have to give very detailed orders to make sure you get to
I mean,
people quickly.
I'm not bad at control. It's not something I do super often anymore.
surprisingly,
wait, how
yeah.
does that? Wait, so is this like 2 extended tasks that are happening alongside each other? Is that how this is?
Yes.
working?
Yep. Each one can take one crack at the can before, and then the other one goes. You basically are acting on the same interval timer,
Mm.
Yeah.
which I've extended your timer. I didn't tell you how many intervals you have. That's
No, you
something you need to know.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
mentioned the timer. I was sitting there looking at it going, you didn't tell us the timer. Oh god.
You had 1 interval. Now you have 2.
Now you have none.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how
Uh,
increases work.
How many
Imagine-
advantages total did you guys create
Reverse math.
before? 1, 2, 3, 4? wanna say?
We ended up not
3.
using the Defiant one, so 3.
3. So 1, 2,
3 because we
okay.
never used the intelligence Romulan one. We were like, it's an option. We don't need it. Apparently.
So you have 30 intervals. There is no option to speed up because it would cause, in one case, it could cause someone to die. In the other case, it could leave a very distinct hole in your security net, which neither of those you guys want to even, unless you guys want to risk that. But if you do, you're looking at a reputation because you took unnecessary risks.
So, question: since we didn't use the Romulan one, GM, does that mean you get your threat back there?
No, I spent it to make that complication happen.
Okay.
So it goes away. It'd only be if I clawed it back, but if I say it, I'm supposed to, and I threw the chips out, I'm supposed to leave it.
Anyway, it just means we didn't actually use it, so do I actually take the reputation hit?
No, because you didn't use it. You knew about it, you voiced it, and then you chose not to do it.
Yeah, you just spent that.
Put it on the table.
So
yeah, I just put it on the table.
So you won't have the creative advantage.
Yeah.
For that.
Oh well.
Yeah.
All right, seems fair.
You do have the advantage in place. You just haven't used the advantage yet.
If we need a Romulan beam, we can do it later.
I have a couple things that might help with this for me. I have the triage talent.
The triage talent will. Hold on.
Yeah, it's tricky because like it's super situational. It's like
well what I was gonna say. I was typing something out, and that's why I was humming. What I will do is with that I'll reflect the fact that you have that by knocking down the resistance for you by 1. Because you're going way faster than most doctors would in the same scenario, because you actually know what triage is.
Yeah.
Because you actually know what triage is. I hope they do.
Well, sorry, I assume you want resistance down by 1. The alternative was giving you an extra 2 intervals, but I'm like, resistance down seems more beneficial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Focus is chain of command or guerrilla warfare.
Guerrilla warfare?
Yeah. You are not slipping away, you little...
Yeah, get back here.
Emergency medicine for focus.
Yeah.
And then I also have the trait novel trauma specialist.
What do you have? You have that. Do I want to?
This isn't novel. This is actually old school.
Okay.
Normally, it's something you don't. It's novel only by factor that
you've.
It's not a thing you normally deal with. Most people have spacesuits.
Like in case things got weird because of cybernetics. That was mainly what I was going for because I was like, that's not a thing for me. I was hoping to pull on
Not
this,
yet.
but...
I'll say this. Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Oh, that's encouraging.
Good. Okay. I would like to spend a momentum for cautious, please.
Only 1?
And I'm spending a threat for bold, and then we'll make that. We'll do a second threat into momentum to get 4 dice on my part.
So who do we want to hit first?
I'll do... roll 4th.
Fucking yeet.
Nice!
God damn!
I hate how that worked. I hate how that worked.
I mean, not as nice as yours, but...
Good rolls, though.
You just didn't say yeet with enough energy beforehand. So that's 7 challenge dice each, yes?
Yep.
And it was 4. So I made 3 momentum off mine.
And Efrix made 1.
Whoops, wrong button. Fuck. I was like, that's the chevron I need to click. And I was like, wait, that's not the challenge dice button.
Holy shit!
That's the challenge dice button.
Holy shit.
It has
Yeah.
been like 3 weeks since I played. I'm going to click the wrong button on occasion.
3, 5,
I apologize.
9. So Everett got 6 work. Varder got 7 work. That is a breakthrough for each of you because you did enough. So you have 1 magnitude each. Diff goes down by 1 for both of you.
How much float do we have?
Both are 28 intervals. Looks like I think you're at 6 flat by the look of it.
Are we?
I don't
Yeah,
see any
because
float.
for Efrix to roll a 4th dice, you would have had to spend more.
Oh.
Yeah, we
Okay.
had to spend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for that first breakthrough, both of you, Efrix, one thing you notice from the breakthrough after taking people in, and Barter, because you see it at yours, you're able to corroborate this with the medical staff and your security staff. Both of you realize that, that the security, the cybernetics do not match up with the rest with their tech level. This cyber, because they're at on Earth scale, they're like 1980s, 1990s, information age at best. Very high tech, but with some interaction with spacefaring peoples. But that level of cybernetics is, and for it to be that pervasive, is extraordinary for this tech level.
And that's probably being interchanged by the crossover of, well, I've got combat medical personnel and they fall under me, but you need them.
Yeah.
Well, it's every so often a security guy going, doctor, just so you know, watch out for that. That's actually a security risk. Oh god, is that gonna hurt me? Huh? No, it's not. It's fine.
He has a gun in his arm. What?
Oh, what's this weird wire sticking out of his neck? That is a neural interface. It's wired. That's old school. You ever hear of wireless ones, buddy? They're fine. Very cheap. But no.
Not his world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But yep,
Concerning.
that's what you get. You've made progress, and yeah.
Concerning.
Cool. Yep.
More people await your aid.
Okay.
Have threat.
Sure. How many threat?
1
6?
threat. Single threat. Uno threat. Yeet.
You hit yours by 1, and you got 1 extra.
I'm gonna spend for cautious.
Yeet.
Hey.
Gain 2.
Yeet.
This better not become our dice rolling word.
Please no. I'm using earbuds. Spare me.
Efrix goes around medbay dabbing.
No.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 minus 1, so 5. That's still 11 total work for Efrix.
I remember we
And
brought
2, 3, 4, 5,
yeah.
6, 7, 8. 8 minus 2 is 6 on 7, which is 13. So you both generate a magnitude, because you did at least 5. Diff goes down for both of you, down to 2. With your second magnitude, you do recognize that there are a lot of these. You're able to stop both people from trying to treat themselves or give medical advice that isn't really helpful. Like they'll say, I think it's this disease, but you know that's an outdated interpretation of the situation. That's not what's happened. Or I think it's my arm. You know, it has nothing to do with their arm. It's because cybernetics basically it's subpar for Federation tech. You're like, no, that's the reason you have that itch. That was there before. You just didn't notice it. Apparently, that's not good. Barter, there are some people who,
but not currently.
You notice that some people have tried to plug themselves into things. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I need it to help my relax. And between the medical staff being tuned in and security going, no, that's an error implant. Go away. Stop trying to plug into things. Can I just touch this? No, you can't. Stop that. So there is active efforts of them trying to do stuff, but since you guys are right on top of them all the time, it's hard for them to do anything without someone. If not security, if security doesn't see them, medical does, and if medical can't stop them, they yell for security guy to come over and they make it stop, or they just go, sedate you. Go to sleep, friend. There we go.
That is, yeah, no, that seems like the appropriate relationship between Varder and Efrix's departments.
Yep.
Yep. 2 float on the table currently. Those are gonna poof here at the end of this interval.
Those are on Efrix's roll, correct?
There was 2 on F6 and 1 on yours.
Well, you could always spend it on more work or resistance punching.
I was considering spending it on an advantage to lower resistance of, no, we're helping you. Stop trying to fudge around here.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
We are professionals. Let us do our
We know what we're
profession.
doing. The situation's controlled. You don't need to be doing this other stuff.
Mhm.
Resist less.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
Yeah, moving on.
Have another singular threat. Yes.
And I would like a momentum
And
for
that
cautious.
I have bold. Yes. I just need to say things in a funny voice and I get 2s. That's what happens.
Apparently.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah, it's the it's the Matt Mercer rule.
Yay!
3 for both teams, as it were.
So much momentum.
My God. This is
Ooh.
That's 3? 3. I think we've got enough for me to spend 1 to reroll 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Go for it.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9 for Varder. That still breaks it.
Yeah, I was trying to break the work track as well as break the thing.
So that'd be 3, 4 for you. It's gonna shut them. You're basically able to get complete control of the situation and cooperation with their security. You're eventually you're able to figure out who the spies are and who are basically people who, they're pawing around harmlessly. They don't know that they're appearing threatening. So
Yeah.
oh wait, we can just leave them alone. They're fine. Medical people go, no, it's fine. Go away. Deal with the people who are actually a security threat, please. And then eventually you find people who eventually are recovered, or at least put on their feet a lot quicker than everyone else. The security forces of the planet who go, wait, people are doing things? Okay, we'll help you shut them down. They're not supposed to be doing that.
They know better.
They know better than that. Unless they want to get fired, they're going to cut it out. So we'll spread the word.
Appreciated.
Just imagine
like,
one of
you
them has an old-fashioned megaphone.
It's like, we appreciate your enthusiasm for the company, but they're trying to save your lives. Maybe don't
Do that.
Not
We
to
have
mention
the
they could
capacity to send a feedback loop through the system to fry you.
not to
not
mention
doing that.
or worse, we could sue them.
Yeah.
We could end up being sued.
Efrix,
that's
you
worse.
could finish this off with 4 momentum because you've
Well,
made a
we have it.
breakthrough and you could break the
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
You don't want to be outdone by me? Is that what this is?
Yes. Petition. No, I'm saving people.
It's not a
Sure.
competition. Exactly.
I don't know what you're doing. I'm busy.
So you both finished up at the
Not
24
everything's about
interval.
you, Varder.
Medically, Efrix, you're able to eventually able to find the cyberneticists among them and the company doctors who are able to start on their apps to go, oh, well, we can unlock their files at present. That sort of thing. And you're able to treat a lot of them. Thankfully, actually, there was no novel issue because this is just large scale just large scale exposure, which, you know, for Starfleet, you guys at Starfleet's been dealing with that for over 100 years. That's and spacefaring species have been dealing for it for longer. It's like, oh, we know how to deal with that, and there's plenty of medical data on that. We're a new species. Vacuum hits a lot of people in a lot very predictable ways.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are panicking because you don't know what to do as much as we do.
Experience with exposure.
Like this planet's solution is don't get spaced. Your guys' solution is if you get spaced, there are things you can do.
Yeah.
There are techniques and technology that we have.
Between Varder having experience being spaced and my experience treating him afterwards.
But yes, after let's see, that was good. Takes a good half of Alpha Shift to get it all sorted by the end of it. Eventually,
not nearly as much as we thought it was going to be, though.
The scene ends on that because you're able to. You've been able to stabilize the situation, and the other cities are able to take in anyone that's fine. Or because security arrangements are fine, you can kind of house people here temporarily if they can't find somewhere on the surface right away, that sort of thing. And there are a few probes that are lost on the surface by the end of it. Like they basically shut down and hit the ground.
We'll want to retrieve those so that they don't go scavenge that tech, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be spending for an advantage there? To make sure we recover all our tech?
It would be a roll of control security diff 3 to be an advantage with an increased difficulty because you're grabbing a bunch as fast as you can. Like you're basically tractoring them back into your ship because they can't move on their own. Normally you beam the stupid things, but that's a whole. You don't want to. You just went through that. You're like, no, there's easier ways to do this.
Also, transporters might still be busy and such.
Yeah.
Normally that would probably be Varder, but I'm guessing this is happening like at the same time as the.
Yeah, neither Varder or Efrix can do this because they're occupied. And
Am I
Vada
still
couldn't
occupied
either.
with doing? Yeah, she's doing beaming still. Am I still occupied?
Yes.
All right.
Penned.
Apparently so.
There's an impending task for you.
Blast the planet. Blast the planet. Yes.
Considering we use a very specific pattern to place the probes, would that assist us in retrieving the probes?
For 2 momentum, sure. Which will reduce the difficulty of the task to 2 instead of 3.
I was thinking, should I get Tachibana to do it?
Yeah, Tachibana?
Yeah, I'll spend a momentum for cautious.
Ah, you mean Lieutenant Junior Grade Tachibana?
Indeed.
Yes. Tactical,
Upstart.
Yeah. I assume tactical systems will count for this one.
Yes. Because tractor beams are a tactical system. where you
Direct
fire them from.
transfer to the vessel via the airlock.
This is assisted by the ship.
Structure security. Because it's the tractor beams. So that's 2 momentum generated
Yes.
to retrieve the various probes in a timely manner. So yeah, some large amount of people are being treated to the point that the situation has stabilized to the point that the senior officers at present are no longer required to continue working on the task because everything's fine now. Your subordinates, sorry.
Same thing.
We're not.
Your subordinates can handle the situation without you being
We're
over
not
it.
mirrors.
Your Klingon
Oh.
is showing, GM.
I thought we were Orions and these were our slaves.
Ooh.
I will add that this. No, you did the reason I had that was that reason. Yeah. No, I can spend for that. Sorry, debating with myself there. So you have stabilized the situation. The only requirement is that at least one ship needs to remain for the rest of Alpha Shift to finish off the non-critical part of it, the bureaucracy of checking people, make sure they go to the right city, make sure their medical records are fine, follow up, negotiate with the appropriate authorities, back and forth, but nothing that's really hard. It's just time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One ship or one?
I think we kind of decided that one before session, like one ship stays here for all the bureaucracy.
Mm-hmm.
And you can leave it to your support staff on that ship at this point, assuming nothing else happens to that ship while they're there by the following shift.
That seems risky.
It's probably best if we follow the plan that we set out before session.
Mhm.
Which is Grennan and Efrix remain on the Kismet while the rest of us bugger off.
I had a thought about that actually just now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Where we're buggering off to, we need to put multiple teams down on surfaces. And there's not many people on a peltist.
Don't worry, I've got plans for that.
Plus, you already have people on the planet, right?
Yeah, meaning we've got one team down. I think we need 4 more. Oh, never mind. There's a starbase there.
Yeah.
Never mind. Ignore me. I forgot that there was a Starfleet starbase there. And we can just talk to them politely.
This is how I keep heavy weapons guy alive.
Alright, we've got the plan then. But we might steal Myth for the peltist.
I think that was part of the plan.
That was general consensus, yeah.
Yeah.
You find things.
So
Myth is
are
our
we
blood.
thinking
Come
of-
back. Greta needs to come back over to.
Yes.
Yeah, do we have a small staff meeting, or we're just gonna jump straight through?
I mean, I think maybe a small staff meeting, but I think we more or less decided on what we wanted to do for that exact reason.
We're ahead of the game for once. Wow.
Yeah, so that we didn't have to have a massive staff meeting.
Don't
Yeah, it would
worry,
just
you
be
won't regret
for-
that.
It's just for RP reasons.
Yeah, basically.
That was the staff meeting. Us going, where should we all go?
Yeah.
So who's going? Which ship is going first?
I believe it is the Peltist who will be continuing on.
Okay, who's going with the peltist?
It was myself, Mr. Varda, and Commander Myth.
So Grenna and FX are staying with the Kismet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Helping him to
Tachibang's
you.
mine.
No, he's here now.
Yeah.
He and Var can't be on the same ship. They switched.
That's not my problem.
Oh, that's true. It is your problem, Captain.
Hey,
There's two of me and one of him.
you've also got to take in consideration I also have a Cardassian on my ship now.
Yep.
Oh. And this is how.
The Peltas
Or
never
this
arrived
trip.
at its destination.
Yeah. Margaret just hears Kill Bill sirens.
Fleet Captain, any standing directives you want to leave with the Peltas before it leaves your star system?
Standing directive.
No war
See
crimes?
to it. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, yeah, see to it that due process is observed.
I mean, is that it? There's still a lot of wiggle room there.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll follow
I'm
an
trying
intelligence
to-
officer's due process.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to think of what else I can say. I mean, the orders. I mean, we were basically headed there anyway, so
Yeah, so that would still be our primary mission directives, right?
Yeah, your primary mission directives are there. I was just seeing if there's anything you wanted to tag on before they, because it's entirely
Yeah.
possible we might lose communication with each other again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do
which
appreciate
is
that there's no
GM speak
directive
for
for
you
friendly
are
fire.
going to lose communication with them.
More than likely.
I can neither confirm nor deny this at present.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Give it 5 minutes, you'll confirm it.
But, yeah,
5.
if that's my only directive from the fleet captain, I've got a shit ton of wiggle room.
And I don't have a
Yeah,
directive to not friendly fire anyone.
I mean, I trust in my
think
I trust in my subordinates.
That's a
Get this
terrible
done.
idea.
So the Peltas warps off.
Yes.
Mhm. 5 Romulan Warbird decloak around the Kismet.
I probably took Kino over with me. We're not activating her yet. It's a if we need to, we can.
Mm-hmm.
One last thing, we check in with the Kismet in the Delphine system. The one thing that comes across both your I will call this a it's an insight roll. I know that much. Actually, there's 2 different rolls, one for each of you, actually. Insight Medicine and Insight Command difficulty 2. To notice something about the situation as it's quietly developing.
I would like one for cautious, please.
This is me rolling.
Yep.
So, oh yes.
Unless
Oh
you're
yeah.
getting some more
Yeah,
info.
it's one
yeah,
for
yeah.
it's one for each of us. Yeah.
Ignore me.
I try to, but
I've noticed.
Is this like a law thing, diplomacy?
Oh, I forgot to ask.
linguistics?
My bad.
Well, none of your dice rolled under 5, so.
uh,
Uh,
law. I'll take.
okay.
I'll take law now that I think about it.
I'll take momentum. Yep.
So one thing I'll point out, Efrix, that even once you've treated a lot of the people, of their
Mhm.
or once a lot, or and you're getting reports from your various medical staff, that the critical things you can treat don't necessarily require you to do anything about the persistent health risks of certain implants that people have. Once that happens, once you got them to the point that they're not critical and they're ambulatory or even just merely walking wounded, they're very low on the triage list. The companies on the planet want their employees back. So that even though normal Starfleet medical procedure would be, well, we'll sit here and wait, and we're here anyway, so and our mission's to help you, so we'll just help you for as long as you need. We don't mind.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, time is money. Get them back. It's like, they don't get sick days unless they want to spend their sick days. And usually I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But there are persistent problems.
Yeah. And I have some ideas of how to, healthy workers work better.
Grennan, the thing that you notice is that there's a lot of, from a law perspective, between what the doctors told you and what Barter told you before he left, there's a distinct possibility that smuggling has occurred, and that some of the material they have might have been smuggled through Federation space to them. Now, whether that means they helped with that knowingly or they were preyed upon is unclear, but that is a possible, not threat. Threat's a weird way to put it, but it's a possible problem that is probably still ongoing, because how else? Because either they developed it there somehow, which is possible. It's incredibly unlikely. That'd be like us in our current time frame suddenly inventing warp travel. It's like, where'd you come up with that idea? Like how to make it actually practical. It's like, we actually can. We built one. Yeah. SpaceX just made one. Like, what? How'd you do that? We got lucky. Science isn't known for its luckiness. It happens, but I think penicillin's a good example. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, we didn't mean to make that.
It does occasionally happen.
So, I don't know. Before I go over to them, is there anything you two wish to do about those persistent issues? Which aren't mission critical, but they are things you notice.
Yeah.
Maybe you can spend some momentum to talk to some loose-lipped employees grateful for assistance.
Well, I wouldn't say torture. It's not Grennan's style.
No, I mean quite literally talk to some loose-lipped employees that you just say.
I think you said talk. It sounded like torture to me too.
No, I
think
heard
you said
talk
too.
Y'all just have a low opinion of Penn, clearly.
I realized it in context. I was like, talk to.
Biased!
I didn't even instigate it this time.
That's my job.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. I suppose I could talk to some of the, I could talk to some people, try to figure out who would be more
in the
willing to
know.
talk. Yeah, who'd be more in the know about, because right now it's just a suspicion I have that smuggling is going on.
Maybe talking to some of the doctors from the recovered people. They might know some about like the line through which they acquire cybernetics. That's a possible lead.
That's possible.
Again, we're talking about talking and not torturing, Grennan.
Okay, hang on. Presence security, right?
Yep. Because you're trying to find information without necessarily tipping your hand that's what you're doing.
That's okay.
And then
since I'm trying to not tip my hand, deception focus?
Yeah.
So I spent a momentum that doesn't let me reroll anything. It's just an extra die.
Could give me a threat. Stingy.
Oh!
3 momentum generated.
And depending on how this works, I might get a free question because cold reading.
Yeah, because it's a social thing, yeah. That would fall into it.
Yeah.
find them. Where are they? Can I do this the easy way, or do I have to do it the hard? I have to do it the hard. Okay. No, stop that. So what you figure out, Renan, after talking with a few people, is that they have been able to gather the material. Basically a Klingon group has been smuggling stuff to them, and they've been buying old augmentations that the Klingons use. Like they didn't know it, but you know it because you're familiar with Klingon tech. Like it's not exactly the top secret stuff. It's that stuff Starfleet knew about a long time ago.
Yeah, this was stuff that they were using back in the original. Probably stuff they were using back in like the original series era. Stuff developed in the wake of the Augment disaster.
There's one particular house that is the primary supplier of these this tech.
Okay, well, and this is just internally. It's not our job to police this kind of thing, is it?
Insight command difficulty of 1.
Sure.
Unless you want to spend momentum to get to answer that for free.
I got a free question, so.
Oh shit! Yeah. Yep. So for your cold reading question, because it kind of occurs to you, less seeing it through them, more you cluing in on something on your own. It's them buying and selling is not a violation of Federation law because they're not subject to it. However, whoever's transporting it through Federation space is in violation because they're transporting unsafe goods without declaring such through your space. Like you should have already known how they got it before it got to them. And normally Federation would go, no. You have to declare what it is. And whoever you're selling it to, you have to tell them if they're a protectorate of ours. The protectorate is not liable, but the person who was transporting it is. Because they're supposed to tell people. The only people who wouldn't tell the Federation what they're doing are smugglers or pirates.
Okay. So, in that case, there's nothing much I can do here and now, because we can't interfere with the protectorate in that fashion. But
Gretchen, you went robot. Try again.
There we go. That's a little better.
Oh, you cleared up just then.
Okay. What was the last thing you heard me say?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to. Okay. I'm going to want to make sure that information gets forwarded to the rest of the squadron. But in addition, I also want that information to eventually get to the folks in Silk Road, because they're the ones dealing with a lot of the trade route.
Okay.
As it stands, there's not a ton I can. I mean, it's information that is good to know and will probably help me in dealing with the planetary government going forward. Oh, here's a question.
Possible answer.
Well, and this is just remind me. Is this a this planet is run by the corporations, correct?
By a council of corporations, yeah.
Yeah.
Each city has its own company, basically.
Okay, and I think I still have one float, right?
Yep, so far.
Then I have one more question. Are these deals being made through, I don't want to say private industry, but are these smugglers dealing with individuals?
Their understanding is that it works through An acquisitions officer at the company is how they word it.
Okay, so they're dealing with the planetary government is in on it.
Well, the corporations are the government.
Well, correct, but it's not like their
employees aren't doing it on their own. No, they're not.
Right.
They're not
Yeah.
direct buying.
It's not like there is an underground business.
No.
For this stuff.
Well, there is, but
It's all.
But the government is in on it.
Insofar as there is one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's okay. That I don't want to say complicates matters, but I that gives me leverage in dealing with the government. That I know that they're involved in dealing with
Shady.
smugglers. Yeah, I know that they're in dealing with smugglers, so that's a point of leverage I can throw at them in addition to everything else.
Doctor, what do you wish to do about your issue, if anything?
Sorry, my computer just crashed, so I'm waiting for it to boot back up.
Oof.
But I'd like to see if there's a way where I can like compile various material about how healthy workers are more productive. They can work for longer. Blah blah blah.
Basically trying to sell the idea
yeah,
of let them stay here longer.
Yeah,
Oh.
let us help them so that we can help you.
Definitely presence medicine difficulty 2.
Okay. Hang on.
That's what that is.
My computer's almost back up.
Oh.
Gotta love when your computer crashes in the middle of a game.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
For apparently no reason.
That's encouraging.
That's
Mhm.
You didn't
Best
sacrifice
reason.
enough to the machine spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not enough children.
Feed me.
Feed
I'll
me, Seymour.
grab your sheet efforts just to push things
Okay.
along.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm almost
I
in.
blame Barter.
I mean,
Don't worry,
fair.
so do I.
So you're looking at a 15 total. I don't see any talents that really fire here.
Mm-mm.
Cautious.
Yeah. Well, yeah, cautious.
So spend 1 momentum for an extra die.
Medicine.
Hit it on the head. Unless you want to
Sweet.
fish with the 0.
Sure.
It's a complication. No, it isn't. I'm just kidding. You got
I was
another.
like, is it really?
I was gonna say I wasn't
on
looking at
par
the
for me.
spring.
The one time I do take a risk.
But yeah, no, you're able to convince the company doctors and their supervisors, like, hey, there are productivity reasons why it's better to let them stick around a bit longer.
And
Which
I'd
they
like
then
to-
ask, how much does it cost? To which you probably reply nothing, and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
well, never mind then, sure.
Yeah, and I want to kind of sow, like, as much as I can, I want to kind of sow that seed in some of the doctors. Like, hey, if you keep people healthy, if you allow them to do this stuff, if you take care of them, they will be able to work longer and, like, try to convince people that it's a good idea to take care of people.
For 2 momentum, you can have that influence through the corporate medical community.
Sure.
So
You gotta start somewhere.
And with that, we'll change scenes over to the Peltist.
Obviously, I don't think that's the reason why you should take care of people, but I
You
think
gotta
I know
start
how
somewhere.
they're... Yeah.
Yeah.
thinking about arguments I use with some of my relatives.
So, on the bridge of the Peltist, Captain Penn, Commander Myth, and Lieutenant Commander Barker are en route to their destination.
What could possibly go wrong?
A lot of things.
Everything.
Though, as a thought...
Oh, that's not it.
How far out are we?
You are distance apart. 1 second.
I think last session you said it was about a day away.
About a day away, yep. Like by the time you get there, Kismet will have just gone through one of its a full cycle.
So it may be a good idea while I am trying to read up on our special little governor for the two of you to possibly look into the planets and the station's security systems.
Two separate stations. There's the civilian station and the Starfleet station.
Well, that, and if possible, there may be planetary defences.
I don't think there was.
There'd be some amount of planetary defenses. The primary one is the starbase, but there's city side, planet side defenses to a degree. If you were to attack the planet,
To the
basic
base...
phase,
Sorry.
basic phaser arrays and things like that to discourage pirates from just swoop bombing the cities.
Though as
Actually.
far as my team has reported, they have not... Their presence and operations have not been detected. So our arrival shouldn't change anything.
Well, it's for more if we can get in contact with the Starfleet base and maybe even the civilian station, we could possibly stop any transport action to the planet.
Have things become locked down on our arrival?
Correct. Also, if considering with our intelligence so far, this person seems confident enough to start a coup in an entire sector, having a bit of forewarning and extra defences, such as 2 stations and at a push planetary defences, could help dissuade any extra people showing their faces.
That's true. We could probably get an encrypted communication out to the Starfleet base and potentially to our special agent, Watanabe, aboard the civilian station. Though I would recommend a good deal of effort going into the encryption.
Agreed.
Then I think best case scenario would be for yourself, Mr. Vada, to work on our security and tactical issues going forward. And Commander Myth, if you can work on possibly setting up with the Starfleet station a transporter lockdown.
Yes, sir.
I'll need to coordinate with the station itself to put these plans into action. We don't have the necessary personnel aboard the Peltist.
Well,
At least not for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different locations. I think it was 6 different locations on the surface.
I'll pull that map back up. Sorry.
Yeah, there's these 2, these 3, and we already have a team here.
Mm-hmm.
And I say 6 because the main station at the civilian station itself. So
Agreed. We'll need to encrypt a secure line with the Starfleet station to coordinate the necessary personnel
these are the jobs I'd like you two to take point in. I need to try and gain as much information as I can on the governor to try and convince him and his allies to possibly turn themselves in. But again, if he's confident enough to start a coup,
let me check a thing.
Uh,
Because this is wrong one, right one.
I'll begin working on setting up a secure transmission line with the station.
thank you, Commander.
Right. One of the, to tell you what I already know, from the intelligence report, this governor, one of his allies, and one of the means he intends to use to cede from the sector or from the Federation is a number of dishonored Klingons from recent purges within the Empire, accounting for our pirate problem recently.
Would we know if the Klingons would be looking for maybe some extra numbers to fill their ranks, or are they just completely focused on killing everyone dishonored?
These purges were, if I recall correctly, eliminating everyone associated with the house. That was all by House Telpok. I don't believe they'll accept a surrender at this one. That's not particularly Klingon in itself, let alone for people acting as pirates.
Surrendering is considered a dishonorable act.
Exactly.
Taking prisoners is considered dishonorable, not because you won. It's like no, but you're being unduly harsh. I mean, wow, you're making a warrior be imprisoned.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So, that's not exactly a win-win there. If we call in Telpok that, and there are dishonored Klingons here, that's going to be a fight guaranteed.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just trying to come up with a way to try and remove his Klingon allies. Maybe even offer them some sort of amnesty and possible escort jobs, but
That depends on exactly how reasonable they are, and exactly how much they know about the Kismet. Because there is that certain small detail of the purges started because of us.
Yeah, that's where the evidence came from for the purge. Until Telpok stepped up and got a house.
So
seat.
they may not want to talk to us.
well, I believe our known enemies are Klingons, Nausicaans, possibly even a Ferengi, and possibly some Federation vessels.
Where do you think the Nausicaans came from?
Oh, wait, there are Klingons here? Do we know what house?
Houseless.
Dishonored.
What?
Dishonored houses. Purged houses from the Empire. They are gone. We've been talking about this.
House Rasa wouldn't happen to be among them, would they?
I can look up the list of dishonored Klingon houses from the Purge.
Reason security difficulty 1.
And I only say this because you would have this because this would have been in the information I forwarded to you.
Yeah, you would have gotten this information before you got to the planet.
Okay. So in that case, chain of command.
No.
Damn it.
Cute, but no.
Because it's this exact kind of thing where is why I wanted this information out there in case they happen to run into anyone from.
Whoops! I don't know why your shields are up.
Yeah, this is just going through information, so I don't think I have a focus for it. But I'll spend a threat just for the threat thing that I do. Oh, Oh well.
Yeah, what's the difficulty?
1.
2. Oh, sorry, 1. You're right. It's not an advantage. It's information. So on, and also the ship helps with computers plus security because you're looking it up. House Rasa's situation is complicated. Some Rasa members are on that list, but the entire house has its loyalty is still being discerned by the council. They're not entirely sure about them yet. They're still in looking into the file a little bit. There's this rather intense investigation going on with House of Gutta and the various other houses that are aligned with it, whether or not they were responsible or party to the Tripolity conspiracy. So House Rasa is up in the air.
Oh, it being up in the air gives them a perfect opportunity. Give them a chance to prove their honor and blah, 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 and the investigation will probably be dropped. That sounds very Klingon to me.
Yeah, I'll note that House Rasa is known specifically for its technological achievement and experimental to the point of being considered unconventional, if not downright reckless, in their design philosophy.
I have a trait, an ally of House Telpog. Can I leverage that for anything else on this house?
House Hubbuck on its own right now is not considering them discommendated. They're not pushing for it. They're waiting for the evidence to come in because what House Hubbuck will tell you discreetly is that House of Gutta is, or at least was back in the Dominion War, was an ally of House Martok, and they remained his ally right up until he ascended to the chancellorship, and they were being considered for being a high council seat. So one of their subordinates being in suspicion, it's like, well, if House of Gutta says they're okay, then they're okay because Martok says Gutta is okay. But it's this nebulous political thing where she's like, I'm not sure which way the wind's going to blow on that because we're trying to gather evidence, and the Bemoth sector is a complicated mess right now.
But if the house were to prove themselves, that would help sort everything else out.
It would help them down the line, yeah.
Okay.
If they do enough honorable and glorious things before a discommendation threat came at them, they might be able to weather the storm.
Okay, well, there's your angle, Captain.
Okay.
Not you, Captain. The captain that's here.
Oh.
We have multiple captains now.
I will say fleet captain when I'm talking to you.
Yep.
You both got promoted.
I can't guarantee that I will.
But yeah, no, that's your angle, Captain. Penned.
Someone wanted to look into the governor.
Yeah, that was me specifically.
That is. Did I say it? Did I type it out? Hold on.
Yeah, you did.
Research the government, the governor, the representative. Sorry, is reason security diff 3 assisted by computer security.
Take a threat.
Sure.
Would you allow the focus of former operative?
Yes.
Oh, did you make the channel encrypted myth?
Yes, I did.
Yep.
Diff 5.
Nice.
Diff 5, and I did not make it.
Okay, sweet.
What? Sorry.
I got like 3 hits against it. So I just used 1 threat for no reason. You don't gain momentum for it though. They just missed the difficulty. So
Yeah.
Really bitter. We're just all around this one thing in the back of the Peltis Bridge doing this.
Oh, definitely. Like, there isn't any other room.
It's like, this is the smallest tactical table I've ever worked on, including the Bajoran Resistance.
Hey,
There's like 2 guest quarters on this ship.
and guests are expected to bunk together. Safe
Exactly.
space.
Varder and I are probably in the guest quarters.
Either that or you're sharing with the doctor and the repair closet.
I just sleep on the floor of the bridge, it's fine.
Pend, you're about to gain access to a sheet under Kismet GM Resources. As you're able to pull up the file they have on him. And put in the relevant requests for information going, no, I have a genuine reason to do what I'm doing.
I forgot something as well. The civilian station has that fucking... what our intelligence boy put on the civilian station. Whatever advantage that was, he got inside the system and was doing things.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Pins.
The mole.
His hacky boy.
Hack boy.
Killib. When Killib was just inside the system on the civilian station.
Mm-hmm.
I entirely forgot about that for a second.
Sorry, I'm just reading.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, that's fair. What was it Myth was going to do? She was going to establish contact and then talk to them about lockdown stuff. Yeah. Which I guess...
I'll cut back to the bridge.
That'll end up going down to the both of us for lockdown and coordination stuff.
GM, just a reminder, I do have a bonus momentum from the last roll, just as a reminder.
Yep. I'll just grab that for myself just to indicate it's a bonus. Boop.
Yeah, while Pend is reading there, I can start liaising with the station now that I've got the encryption up.
Yeah. Oh.
Am I supposed to only read the bio and info? Or am I allowed to look at the character sheet?
You can look at the character sheet, yeah. Because I could, if I wanted to just have you bio info, I could lock you. I could lock you just to that.
No, I just want to make sure.
Yep. Myth. Who do you contact first?
The station commander of the Starfleet station.
This is Lieutenant Fleur Barrick. How can I assist you?
This is Commander
Peltist.
This is Commander Myth, currently on assignment to the USS Peltist of Tiger Squadron. I'll need to speak with you and your Chief of Security regarding a potential security threat and measures we will have to take in conjunction to respond to it.
I'm the operations officer in charge here. I can connect the Chief of Security. They are not on shift at the moment. Is it urgent?
We'll be arriving within the next 24 hours, at which point we will have to be ready to deploy.
I'm here. I'll just put my intelligence officer code through. I'm not talking, I'm just typing things over.
My colleague is sending through authorization for this request.
It's not the problem with the qualifications. Your identification codes and your comm encryption codes follows protocols. It is more a matter of whether or not you required their imminent call directly to their quarters, or if you wanted to wait to meet with them personally. I presume you wish to speak with them now.
If possible, yes.
Yes? Okay. Stand by, please.
Of course. Myth is just thinking, like, sleep, right? People sleep.
It's like, yes, Smith, you regularly forget that fact.
Yes, very regularly. Like,
this is Volante, Chief of Security. What do you want, Peltist?
I'm sending over specifications for several targets.
Sorry. Targets? What was that? Okay, targets. Let me grab that.
If you need a few minutes to get to full consciousness, I can wait.
I'm awake now. It's fine. I'll just
cup of coffee.
Coffee, black, 3
Yep.
sugars, and cancel last. Make that 3 sweeteners and a milk. Milk? Yeah, milk.
I was
Yes,
gonna say,
confirm. Yeah, okay.
that was Barter actually saying a coffee just beforehand. That was brilliant.
Uh-huh.
Lower dimness to 2, please. Thank you.
Sounds
That's-
like a
no.
hangover.
Brightness level down to 2, not dim. Thank you, computer. Sorry, Commander. Whoa, okay. Right. Commander, what are you doing exactly? Are we invading?
Negative. We are securing possible assets in conjunction with corruption charges against the sector governor.
It's, right, sir.
Myth nods.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna need to talk to Flight for shuttles
Of course.
and the city. Do you want me to mobilize the local policing forces as well, or do you want this to be a Starfleet only party?
Out of character, Pen. What would your orders be on that? Because I feel like I would have asked on that.
Only if they're confident they would be on our side. If not, then just Starfleet.
I believe local policing forces would be under Special Agent Watanabe, so... On our side, lightly armed.
Yes. Mobilizing the local police forces would be prudent, I believe. However, it may not be necessary. I will leave that to your discretion and capabilities you believe your personnel are capable of.
All right. There's a special agent here from that's around for the civilian forces, so I can coordinate with our their Federation representative here. That should speed everything up. All right. We're not going to Safe Central, sir. Basically hitting
do not-
everywhere else but the capital.
We do not believe that the sector governor has any criminal assets in Safe Central.
We could probably coordinate from there as home base, along with. And we're leaving this. Well, I assume station, Civi Station and Starbase Station are good as well, Commander.
Confirmed.
Oh, that was a mistake. Why?
Starfleet Station is confirmed, Civi Station is not.
All right. Cool.
Was that in character or did you hurt yourself?
Oh, that was in character.
Okay.
He drank his coffee.
Great.
The civilian station is not cleared.
We are cleared on Starfleet Station. Civilian Station has points of interest.
So should we secure the state? Should we bring the station under lockdown then, Commander?
Yes, we'll need a full transportation lockdown until we can secure the governor. I realize this is not much warning to get these precautions set in place, Lieutenant Commander. However, with the sensitivity of such an operation, I trust you can understand our reticence to begin preparations on a local level sooner.
So this is a wait. Let me check something here. One moment, Commander. Computer, bring up TAC map. Local sector, please. Thank you. Put in code reference Myth Alpha and how the hell do you say that name? Varder Alpha?
Barter is correct.
Oh, good. Whew, I was worried. I saw.
I like how there's just people who are just barely off of communication screen who are fully party to this conversation but are doing other stuff.
Bjorn, sir?
Indeed.
Ooh, guessed right the first time. Good for me. Getting better at that. Sorry, sir. I've been mixing up names lately. I've been told to be more careful about that.
I wouldn't worry about it. Not with me, anyway.
Oh, you're the what are you guys called? You're Tiger Squadron.
Yes.
Is should I keep all this need to know like among among the Starfleet staff? I've heard reports that Tiger Squadron stuff gets a little dicey when it gets inside. Like, are we cleaning house on Starbase as well, or is this just going after the governor?
Myth looks over to Varder.
This is just going after the governor. So far as we believe, there is no one within Starfleet that is cooperating with him.
Okay, so we can use the full station then. Okay, and your authorization codes are fine. So I presume that this is all in orders of Fleet Captain Grennan then.
Confirmed.
Okay. All right. I'll have this all underway by the time you get here. Do you want me to head this up myself, or do you want to does one of your team want to take command of security forces? Because I can do it. I can get in uniform. I'll be ready to go here in 5 minutes once I hit the shower.
Again,
no, don't turn on the shower computer. Thank you. Thank you for helping.
The thing where Myth will look to Varder to see if he wants to, but then otherwise.
I can collaborate with you to put everything together. This is something that I have experience in, to some extent.
Right. Great. Very good, sir. Actually, you're the same rank as I am. Sorry. I'm awake, I swear.
Apologies for interrupting your sleep, Lieutenant Commander.
No, Commander. Don't. This is pretty important. It's worth waking up over. I just have to annoy the doctor for a few minutes after this, that's all.
You see, we're going to get along brilliantly, me and this guy.
So he was hungover.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'll call you back on this encryption once I have more information. I'll start getting things working here, and I'll update, say, 15 minutes.
Very well. Peltist out. Communication close.
So
I'm glad we opened all those boxes.
Uh-huh.
Append. His known allies, I can say to you rather quickly, are various civil governors throughout the sector, like planetary governors and local officials. He has his biggest ally that you're aware of that isn't common knowledge is the Diamond Ordak. That's his big contact, who is also his in with connecting the dots a little bit, is in through traditional Ferengi commerce type authorities, and possibly to the Orions as well. If you wanted to talk off Federation channels, he could talk to Ordak, and Ordak could pass that on. There's no hard evidence on that front, but if he wanted to, he totally could.
I thought there was when we stole all of Ordak's stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have hard evidence against Ordak too.
And his allies among the Klingons contact he has, the group he has had the most encounters with, nothing official, no handshake and a hollow shot sort of thing. But the primary group that he's run into the most is the Alcor League. So if he was going to be pulling Klingons, outlaw Klingons, that would be the group that would have the most ships. In theory, he could talk to any old Klingon that happened into his sector, who said, for credits, I'll do whatever you want. But if you wanted a large number of people, that's the group that he could talk to. There are other groups you're aware of, the various security reports, but a group that's all the way up at the Romulan frontier is not going to be isn't going to get to him in time to be of any use without the Federation noticing or the Klingons noticing. But the ones you could contact easily, the Alcor League leader, you'd have to seek out. You wouldn't really be able to bring him up over subspace. You'd have to find out where he is so you can know where to call. Unless you just broadcasted widely and hoped he answered. Unlikely, since he's illegally in your space doing piracy. So he's unlikely to just pop his head out. The ones you could easily get to are the Diamond, because you could find he's registered with Federation Commerce, so they know where he is because he has to report where he is. And the various Federation governors and political officials throughout the sector, because it's within your sector. They're part of your zone of protection in Tallgrass.
Yeah, because what I'm going to try and do is trying to remove some of his allies before the encounter. So I'd probably try and contact the Daimon and the other governors.
You'd have enough time to really put the screws to one or the other, to basically shut them out of the conversation, make them back off and wait till at least wait till the dust settles. It's like, just stay out of it. Don't you don't necessarily have to help us, just don't help him. And we'll leave you alone.
If you
have enough time to call them and talk them around to it eventually. And then it would be if it's the Federation governors, it's a flat roll, it's not opposed. It'd be a presence command diff 2 to just kind of say, hey, you know who we are. Just stay out of it. If you want the Diamond out of it, you actually have to do an opposed roll with him to convince him to get him to even admit that he's even part of it, and him not weasel his way around it somehow, or promise you something that isn't a real promise, that sort of thing. Like hammer him down to a no, seriously, don't.
I think I'd probably go for the governors, because at least then I'll be able to bring up in conversation that it seems he's lost support on the home front.
So it'd be Presence Command, you'd be assisted by Comms Command, because basically, while they're having their chats and talking to people, you're talking over the governor channels, going, hey, this is, Captain Pend of the Peltas of Tiger Squadron. You know who we are, cut it out.
Yoo-hoo, stop it here.
It's like, that's Governor 1 of 20, now for number 2, now for number 3.
Would you allow team dynamics, because I would like him to rejoin our team?
If you want them to actively help you, it increases the diff by 1. But you could use team dynamics in that case, because you're basically telling them, no, not only should you stay out of it, you should try to help us as much as you can.
Well, not even as in join the battle, but if they happen to turn up on the outskirts and said, yeah, we're not quite a part of this anymore, that would still be quite helpful.
Yeah. What that would do mechanically for you, if you hit the diff 3 with that focus, you would be able to roll your influence as a assist when dealing with him, because now you've regained your influence in the sector.
Okay.
Because at present you technically don't have it anymore, because he does.
Yeah, I think I'd rather...
That seems like a good thing to get back.
Yeah, I think I want that back.
Because otherwise he was going to get the benefit of that roll. I wasn't going to say anything until you started digging around. Like, yeah, that was going to come up. I was going to use that for him.
Mm-hmm.
Someone decided to do homework.
We do our jobs.
Apparently. Take 1 threat and I'll spend 2 momentum.
Okay.
Oh shit, yeah, the ship. Sorry, what was that computer's command?
Comms command. Communications, sorry.
Yeah, I understood.
Poor Gerbil, crewman first class, never getting into the petty officer club.
Eventually.
When they stop climbing into the wall.
It's unbecoming of a petty officer. That's not a high bar, by the way, there, Gerbil. Just stop crawling into things.
Sometimes it's better to be hands-on. They just don't understand it.
Not for a bridge officer.
Well, bridge enlistee.
Enlistee.
I was gonna
Bridge
say,
crew.
Bridge crew, yes.
but also, I'm an engineer.
But yeah, no,
Crawl on
after
the wall to encrypt something.
the calls, role playing them out would take a considerable amount of time, but in essence, it's a lot of hi. You identify who you are, you identify the issue, and you identify the evidence you have, and then you ask them to help out, and they go, "Oh, okay," and then that's first guy on the list. Now for like 50 other people I have to call. Oh, sorry, he's out golfing. Oh, this guy's out surfing. This guy's in a meeting. Like, oh, God. This guy isn't busy. Cool, I'll talk to him.
Queue up the other ones.
Is it possible with the bonus and one more to gain an advantage for when... I know you said we'll be able to use the influence score because of this.
Mhm.
Is it possible to create an advantage of, I don't know, something extra? Maybe an extra dice due to... Oh, well, it seems we've just lost a large amount of support in the region we're trying to secede from.
For 2 momentum, actually, heck, I'll even go. I'll go a bit further because this is a pretty big thing you're getting. For 2 momentum and a threat, you could ask them to request them to lend at some of their local defense forces to help you with a bit of saber rattling or show. Well, Starfleet wouldn't put it that way. Showing the flag is the polite way to put it. But it's saber rattling, where they go, hey, just don't send your whole home defense fleet. That's dumb. Don't do that. But you could send like a couple runabouts, a saber that's hanging around, and just they don't have to do anything. They just have to be here, just as a obvious show of force. Which instead means that you could use your might stat for your instead of influence, because now you're showcasing the force of arms that you have at your availability.
That is much better than our influence.
Yeah, I think I'd go for that, because I'd much rather have a show of force and not lead it into having to use force.
I will warn before you spend for it. I will warn that this can be construed as intimidation, as on a reputation scale. It might be worth it because it can help you succeed at this a lot more easily. But it would be frowned upon by Starfleet. But hey, if it solves the problem, it solves the problem.
I mean, yeah, I'll go for it if it stops an actual secession.
War.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why it caused the escalation, because it actually involves deploying ships. And it's like, well, we can... Because the biggest ships in the area are you guys. It's like, people could spare a saber here or there. A couple runabouts.
There's like, I think, a single defense ship in the station.
Yeah.
I think you said there was like a scale 3 in the station.
Yeah, which would be a saber. It would be a Defiant. Yeah, saber or Defiant. I'm not sure yet. Most likely saber. That's the most commonly fielded scale 3. Defiants are kind of overkill because those are gunboats. Sabers are patrol boats.
Mm-hmm.
That like to masquerade as gunboats.
Well, they're little dodgy, nimble guys rather than. Whereas a Defiant will stand and bang with you. Go, no, come here. I'll fight your Defiant. I'll fight your Daredix. Come here. Aren't you scale 3? I know. Quantum torpedoes.
Come into close range with me. I dare you.
Klingons, I'm going to come into close range and fight you. Yeah, we fight well there, though. So, unlike everything else in the fleet.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you're approaching me? I can't kick your ass any other way.
But yeah, between the 3 of you, you're able to make a lot of preparations. You do get updates. I'll cut back to the TAC map for the planet. Tactical map, I should say. That isn't there anymore. that before you even get there, for 2 momentum, you can have any location other than the Luminous Rift, because that's where he primarily is operating out of, and that's where there's already a team there that's ready to go. Like, no, don't send anyone else here. He doesn't know that we're here yet. And if troops start showing up out of nowhere, we're busted out here in the middle of the rift.
Except, to be fair, we've got a heavy weapons guy there, so...
Yeah. It's like, if you want this to be a shooting arrest, we can do it. I don't know if you want us to do that, though.
We've got a Type 4 phaser mounted to a mountaintop nearby. It's fine.
So yeah, it'd be 2 momentum per location you wish to have secured in advance of your arrival. Like, it's just not necessarily even loud. It's just a quiet. Local police are just situated all in the right places. Starfleet security happen to be taking their break at the right time, and very subtly they're ready to lock everything down on a moment's notice.
I mean, we can probably just get the last 2 of his locations locked down.
Yeah. New Thea, the Amsterdam Archaeology. Because those are him specific, not Damon.
Yeah.
So lock it down. These guys would be 1, 2, 3, 4 momentum.
Which is also, he's the guy that has the funds to hire a personal army. The Diamond probably can, but if the guy he's trying to support's already gone, he's less likely to stand.
Yeah.
Well, that again, that's kind of the reason why I went for the other governors. So he's losing his main governor, and it seems like all the rest have gone, we're not going to be a part of this shit. It should dissuade the Daimon from possibly making some dangerous moves.
One would think.
Well, yeah.
We shall see.
We shall
I should do
see.
the map for this still.
Unless you two have any extra ideas you'd like to set in motion.
No.
Whenever what's his name? Commander Volante calls back, I'll finish up setting things up and go, yes, this is Captain Penn who will be leading this operation completely. That kind of thing.
Okay. Touching bases on. The short answer to what he has set up is basically the mechanic that you guys. He's like, hey, I can shut down these places. Where do you want me to put some of the advanced forces? There are certain places he can. The cost of it is I can deploy people, but it's going to take a bit of fiddling. But we can get them to places. If you want more than that, we'll need to deploy more and more of our personnel to secure more and more places.
Right. It's like we lock down those 2 places and then have regular deployments in the other ones, and right?
Yeah, because basically what the plan is on his end is once you guys are moving into presumably to hit the rift, he's gonna his forces are gonna start bringing people down into the 3 other locations that aren't already locked down, either through beamings and shuttle landings, and just rapidly seize the locations
without any subtlety. Pretty much.
Yeah, that one's
just
just they're raids straight up. And the civil stations is easy. That's not hard for them to shut down because the Starbase just go, "Hi, friend, you're in weapons range. You want to fight us or not?"
And especially with Watanabe and his guys inside, it's just like,
yeah, we've been here for like weeks, man.
Yeah,
try something.
The station's pretty easy to do, and the station's not their main point.
It's Diamond's main point at most.
Yeah.
Which his office has already been breached. So
yeah.
If you want to destroy evidence, it's too late. He's already been nailed. So.
Okay. If I could I would like to try and fill in this guy's plans, or go over them and try to figure out what could be improved. Because I think I'm not expecting him to have more ground-based experience than Varder does. Given Varder spent 10 years doing it.
What I can say, it's Div 0, so I'm going to waive the roll. Because the station has been there for so long, and the fact that he's allowed to openly, this is a Federation world. It's very much as long as we're acting within a legal remit and we're acting under orders, then it's the same as it'd be the same as locking down the Kismet. Like if you want to shut down the Kismet, you could do it very quickly. Same with him. If you need him to shut down the planet, between the station and you guys, he can shut down the planet very quickly, especially with cooperation of civil forces. It's like, well, now we can just completely lock down the planet if we need to.
Okay.
The only tricky bits that you would see is any of the Barani or Ajan, because they're not settlements per se, they're Ferengi mining operations. So there is no real. The local police force is an observer from the civil authority. He's like an inspector.
Right.
Who's there just to make sure they're following safety procedures, and that's it. It's like then he's gonna have to. That's why those ones are ones where he'd have to drop in. Like, could he put people there subtly? He could, but they'd have to be like, yeah, there's more inspection teams. They're just a little bigger now. Cough, cough.
The funny thing is, Varder's a Bajoran. What did the Cardassians use them for a lot?
Yeah.
So where did we have to sneak into a lot with guns?
Actually, what kind of will tickle the back of Varder's mind is that this feels a lot like how Cardassians would. I mean, with a lot less bloodshed, obviously, but this is how Cardassians would shut down Bajor if they knew something was coming up. They just very subtly set their people in motion, told the local collaborators what they needed, and then turned the switch and click, shut a place down. But the only reason they ever do that is if they knew there was a problem. Because if you shut down a planet, you shut it off. It doesn't do it. It's not productive at all.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically lose a day of productivity or longer because you basically shut the planet off.
Mm-hmm.
Cardassians will do a lot more shooting than you guys will. Starfleet can just go, hi, stop what you're doing, please. It's like, oh, okay.
We're also on stun settings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think probably when we have our meeting, we'll advise to put the Safe Central police force on alert, but not have them deploy, because we don't expect there to be any action there, but they should be briefed on what to expect if anything does go down.
Yeah.
Basically here is a service announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because you gave them the data about where you're hitting, and Safe Central, as far as you guys are aware, is a safe zone. Like, it's not influenced by either side. Then that means the local central policing force are clean. Like, oh, so we don't have to worry about our own forces turning on us. We can just operate normally. Good. Mm-hmm. That's why suddenly, if there was anyone corrupt in the Arcology or New Thea, it's like, they get transferred to Safe Central for training, or you can go on holiday. Don't worry, we'll send someone to cover your shift. That sort of very subtle thing to do.
Yeah. All right. Do we have any other prep we want to do before our day elapses?
Calibrate your quantum torpedoes for bombardment.
I was about to say that. He's catching on to our sense of humor.
Damn.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah, coming in with hot torpedoes.
I mean, I feel like we are probably going to drop out of warp, like, pretty close as kind of like a... not hostile action, because that's not what we're doing, but, like, a little bit of provocation, essentially.
That's it. To have a quick reaction force ready on the Peltist to put down where we need the Peltist. Like, a security team on the Peltist to be like, okay, this is where we need to go.
Ooh, better option.
Mm-hmm.
What if we prepared Mr. Varder and a couple of security personnel from the Peltist to be beamed aboard the civilian station?
Just in case there's any trouble there.
I don't think we need to do that. They're in range of the Starfleet station.
It's more of a case of letting him know we're on your station, you're surrounded, your options are limited. Pack this shit in.
my only thought is the station is not his primary thing. This is.
Yeah. Like, Luminous Rift is where we expect to nail him.
The station's an official seat of power, but he doesn't use it because it's monitored.
And it's more the Daemon's seat of power.
Yeah, it's more he goes up there to
Local.
liaise. I think the idea of having like a strike team ready on the Peltist is a good idea, but maybe we should just have them to be sent to any hotspot. You know, it's like, oh, this place is.
Yeah, that was my meaning. Is there anything goes bad, they can go there.
Yeah.
That would eat an opportunity and an escalation because you're a security team, a security detail.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that seems like
Oh
what to go for.
Boop.
All right.
And so your intention isn't just to warp into the system normally. You plan to warp like right on top of this planet.
Yes.
I was suggesting that, yeah.
Basically to go, hello, we need to talk, don't fuck around.
Mm-hmm. Giving the possible hostiles as little response time as possible. We're here now. Hi.
There's probably we're pinging the station as we're about 30 seconds out, and just everything starts.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this could be the perfect opportunity for our newest con officer.
Indeed.
Squint.
Ensign Dajox Prin.
Ensign, was it?
Ensign, yes, I've already put it on his rank.
That his token now.
If he fails to roll, we know why.
Question, would you allow me to assist considering, remember when you first ran that one shot for us?
No.
Where I walked on top of the station?
You could anyway by directing, so.
Well, that's what I mean. Can I direct him by telling him how to warp directly on top of someone?
Sure. Like on their head, just dunk.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dunk on them.
But, having a Defiant pop up above you is like, oh, we shouldn't fight.
That's the idea.
Would you allow the focus of either helm control or combat maneuvers?
Yes.
I'll just roll the
Grennan
2.
wanna be this character?
Yeah.
Grennan there?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you wanna play the ensign?
Sure.
Yeah, I think we'll just roll his 2 dice because it's his first activation.
Mm-hmm.
Dajox Prin.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll assist with team dynamics.
Yeah.
Con, just roll 2.
One so far.
And the ship is... Yeah, it's such a stupid thing to warp on top of someone.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you're basically gonna warp to be basically well within range of the Luminous Rift. So the Peltist, new scene as the Peltist
Arrives.
just drops out of warp, just shy
Hello!
of landing to the atmosphere. Which normally would be a navigation violation, but you already told Starbase what you're doing, so conveniently, traffic happened to be a little clearer there. Like, no, just stay away from there. Why? Because we said so. We're flight control. Just stay away from there. Okay, whatever. Geez, Starfleet's being weird today.
Dropping out of warp like
Oh,
the
that's
Kool-Aid.
why.
You just appear.
Just like the
This is-
freighter. It's just
this-
like, oh shit.
Just Mrs. Doubtfire.
Is Peltus warping in at green alert?
I'd say. Let's be honest. This is going to cause an alarm. Just what we're doing now, isn't it?
Yep.
I'd say yellow shields down so we can deploy immediately if required.
Okay, so basically you've made sure your crew are ready to move around if they need to, but it's like leave the shields down because we need to beam people.
Yeah.
And you have a security detail ready to go, so I'm going to mark that.
What are they gonna do? Shoot us with their hand phasers?
Security detail.
Well, I mean, if you have enough money to buy a personal army, I'm
I mean,
sure
that's
you can buy
that's
some
fair.
surface-to-space
Cannon, yeah.
weapons.
Anti-aircraft.
For each of these, the 3 other locations to be secured, it's going to be who's coordinating the attacks on those 3 locations through the station.
Probably high.
So Varda, you're kind of locked down for a bit. The Arcology and Uthia are just, there's not even a roll. It's a nope, they lose. Anyone who's like, aha, it's like, yeah, there's like 5 guys around you, pull faces, go, sit down, please. Oh, I think we just lost. Like, yeah, we've been here for a while, smart guy.
It's just
The
a
other
heavy
three
weapons
require-
guy.
The other 3 require, I will tell because you hit those locations. When they do the raids, they don't find anything incriminating in those locations.
In
Shut
the
down.
orange
They find a lot
locations?
of people who respond with force to try to keep them from getting in, and the Starfleet guys go, no, we have authorization. You are opening this door, or we're making it open. We'll stand in front of the door. We can shoot the wall open. That's not going to slow us down. Move, please.
Just stun you.
Were those events in the purple locations we locked down, or when we arrived at the orange ones?
The purple locations.
Okay.
We have yet to do the orange ones.
Yeah. So for each orange location, there's going to be an opposed roll with the local security officer who's trying to oppose your forces.
I mean, I will say, at least for the purple ones, we have captured his supporters.
Yep.
That's better than nothing.
Let's start with the Iron Mountains, of Barani.
Yep.
That's high ground. I like high ground. I'm taking it.
It's over. We have the high ground.
It's the tallest mountain in the entire continent. It's the mountain.
But you were the
looking at
chosen
that.
one!
So what is
It's
this?
over, Sector Governor. We have the high ground.
Control, daring, what is it?
Depends if you want to. It depends if you want your people to go in shooting or go in melee.
I feel like it's very much more Starfleet to shoot than melee.
Okay. So opposed. So you're using
Because-
control.
We can stun more easily with a phaser than with a fist.
And also, I'll mention that the reason why Starfleet usually likes shooting is that shooting forces the other side to do shooting as well, generally. Because otherwise it's like, well, you're going to give us if Klingons are like, we'll fight. Okay, we get a free control roll then because you're not opposing us. You're just running at us.
Yeah.
You're just hoping you'll tough it out.
And
If you-
with what we
if
know
you
about
daring, you give the other side a chance to choose one or the other because they could shoot you first or just let you come into melee.
And with what we know about the
Nausicans.
Ferengi, they are hiring Nausicaans who like to stab you, so daring is a bad idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go
Yeah.
control, security, guerrilla warfare,
Yeah.
or chain of command. I've got both. They're both kind of valid here.
They will produce similar but different results.
Guessing guerrilla warfare kind of. I'm thinking guerrilla warfare in terms of countering what they're trying to do. It's harder to sneak on us.
Mm.
Or, this is an escape route. Well, we've already got guys there because I looked at a map and saw that that's something I'd use. That's what I would do. So no. Anyway. Bold security have a threat.
I'm spinning it back.
That's fair, really. Actually, I've got 2 of these. 1 second on that spending back. You're probably going to be able to spend it back, but we'll find out.
Right.
You only get 4 instead of 6.
Okay.
What? I've got the medals.
I mean, yeah, fair. Fair.
Ooh, that is not the best I've ever done.
No.
I mean, you do have a reroll as well.
Yeah, just
Wait, really? Hold on. All right, because they're stabbies, not shooties. That's why.
See, it's still,
stabbies,
yeah,
not
that's
shooties.
it still confuses me how I have a better shooting skill than you.
Because I don't have a control 11. Yeah.
2 hits on their side. Roll for me security plus 7 challenge dice. Get at least 5 and you'll have. Yep. You've shut down the Iron Mountains. As there's a shootout, and the shootout they are overwhelmed by Starfleet forces. Who's next?
I'd probably go for the complex next.
Yeah.
Fair warning, you would know that area gets 1 free die of it gets basically a ship die because the complex has its own security systems.
That's
The Iron Mountains are mountains, so you just walked into mines and said hi, and then it just became a shootout in the mines, which they lost. The complex is actually a place that has defenses.
what probably means it's holding more forms.
Yeah, we'll hit the complex.
Okay. Controller daring.
Control.
Okay. So
I feel like it's still staffed by stabbies.
lots of Nausicaans. Nausicaans are very scary for melee people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I
would
went
be
to melee
Sarissa.
with
Drop on them.
Noskins.
It's like that would be Sarissa.
Unless you're heaviest guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not fighting the people, we're fighting the building.
Yeah.
Punch the building.
With rockets.
Let me.
Is that a torpedo
They threw a
launcher?
rock-
Yes.
They threw a rock at him. It was a big rock.
Any threat I'm going to gain there?
Sorry, I was just looking at some stuff there. No. Okay.
I should have gotten more pop earlier. Oh well.
I've got to squint at that. Okay. Okay. Da da da. 1, of course, because I like my bold. I tend to enjoy having that, and I'll give you 2 momentum.
Spending 1 and 2 more for 2 extra dice.
Okay.
This is a very important location. They will get in a lot of trouble if they lose this.
That's the idea.
That's why we're here.
Mm.
Huh.
You tied.
But they got the comp.
They got a
so-
comp. You can either you have 2 options. Essentially, in their efforts to fight you off, it becomes obvious to you that it's a stalling tactic. Like they know they're losing, and their security just isn't sophisticated enough to rebuff your forces. So they're starting to get desperate, and one from a guerrilla's tactic standpoint, if the Cardassians were literally kicking down your door and you had this computer database that had all kinds of secret stuff in it, and you couldn't purge it quickly, you just start shooting it. Problem is, computer cores are pretty robust usually.
Yeah.
So they don't, for various reasons. So if with the complication, they will have obviously, like clear evidence of trying to destroy things. So they might be able to destroy evidence.
However, we have the quick
will-
reaction force security team that we could just,
Yeah.
that's not going fast enough.
Yeah,
advantage.
you could deploy that as an advantage to just overwhelm them. Yeah.
Yep.
So not only do they lose, but they're caught attempting to destroy evidence at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, we know right where to look now.
Which is just, oh, we're pinned down, put down the beacon, and then the quick reaction force from the Peltas comes down. It's like, oh.
Yeah, we're fresh as daisies. We haven't been fighting this whole time. Also, we have rifles and armor. Hi, friends. TDQ.
These are people who fought in the war.
Send in the veterans.
Yeah.
2 locations down. Lots of evidence is taken from Kane, plus a lot of smuggled goods.
Brilliant. And then there's the mines.
Okay. The Vasia mine. Any threatsmens?
I have to squint at you. I have to squint and be like,
Sorry, logistics question. Considering we just spent the team, would that have effectively put us at 4 successes?
Yeah, you would have gained 1 momentum, yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. I was just wondering.
I hadn't thought of that till you mentioned it.
okay, then I might do the same thing I did last time, which is the 1 and 2.
Yeah, that was kind of why I was asking as well, to give you the 2 to spend.
Yeah. Because as much as I love that conspicuous gallantry citation for just rolling and seeing, I'm like, I shouldn't do it again.
Yeah,
It usually does give, like, a bit.
Except for that one time I got all icons. I was so proud of myself. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll roll 4.
They will always spend 1 threat back because they're supposed to at least try. The mines. Before you roll, be aware that there is a complication increase for both of us because the mines here have volatile materials in it.
Okay. Oops, I did. Yep. Volatile materials. You see, if I was Klingon, I'd be like, then go melee. But I'm like, we're Starfleet, and they're Nausicaans.
Yeah.
What do you do with a Nausicaan? Well, you don't try to fight him with a knife.
Yeah, if you go melee, it does eliminate the complication. But then it turns into a melee fight.
Which is more dangerous for both of us.
Yeah.
Funnily enough.
Goose egg, I got nothing.
Oh, wow. You get quite a few momentum out of that then.
I was rolling around 10 for every single success that I've had in this course of action, which is odd for me. I haven't had anything lower.
Everything is going very much by the book.
Roll for me 7 challenge dice. The complex I didn't do this for because because of the complication. I was like, he doesn't have to worry about that. This is just a evidence question now. Well, they lost handedly. They were crushed.
That was like,
they will
that
never think
took
of shooting
2
us in
minutes.
here with the mines. It's mandatory to do phaser training so you don't hit volatiles, and some of us did some scans in advance because we knew we were coming today. So yeah.
Get wrecked.
It's as if we're professionals.
People who scored
professional
high on their
standards
accuracy rating here.
We had a briefing. We got a quick lesson in geology by the science department. The engineering department told us what we could use. There's a whole thing. In the last location, Safe Central, there's no... Safe Central reports in that all locations other than Luminous Rift are secure. And just as you guys are getting ready to get down there, new scene.
Uh-oh.
By the following day, Kismet, you are getting reports from the morning raid as you guys are starting your alpha shift and you're hearing about the attack on Safe 3. At this point, the Kismet has finally tidied up all its loose ends as far as this planet is concerned. You could stick around for longer if you wanted to ingratiate yourself with the planetary government. But there is no distress at present.
Okay. I think it's probably better to go help Peltist.
Yeah, because I think at your higher warp speeds, you'll probably get there a lot quicker than we did.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It would take you guys your 9.97.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
I think with a push of 0.98.
Yeah, maximum rated is 9.985 for 6 hours.
So 9798. Okay.
No.
No.
9.985.
Because that 0.5,
You guys needed it.
extra 0.5 means
Yeah.
Like,
You could, at maximum warp, if you burn it, you can get there inside of 6
Oh.
hours.
Inside of 6 hours? Nice.
Grinnon's internet died.
Oof.
well, nothing unusual there.
Grennan has a heart attack on the bridge. Efrix, you're in charge. Good job.
You got your own command!
No! I have to save the captain.
Nah, he's
Well,
fine. He'll get better.
I mean, I'm here. We've got a spare captain.
Captain.
I'm not on the ship. Also, I'm the doctor. If the captain drops dead, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Nah, there isn't a problem.
Someone's not getting a command. Someone's getting a reprimand, and this girl.
You sure about that?
Yeah, pretty sure. Then they'll really arrest me
There we go.
for reals. Hey.
What did I miss?
We just kind of messed
joking
around.
Mostly.
Uh,
So I don't know. What did you hear before you lost?
Something about us getting the reports on the raid, and then, like, he was about to say what the results of that report were, and then I died.
So in short, you're being told the results of the raid. Like you know of so far what's happened in the morning raid. You're starting your alpha shift with knowledge that the raid is already underway.
Yeah.
A question was asked. How
Do we want to? Yeah.
Go ahead,
Do
sorry.
we want to stay here and like continue building relationships here, or do we want to go? And how fast do we want to get there? I assume
and we
we want to.
determined that the
Yeah.
Kismet could reach the safe system in under 6 hours.
Okay.
But that's burning at max speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can get there under the time that you can hold max speed for.
Well, I mean, let me think.
I mean,
Are the
if you're worried about
what's
these
the-
guys, we can always come back to them on the way back to
Yeah.
Arcania.
Yeah, I think my question is, what's the status of the patients?
Everything's been handled because this is the following morning. Like it's
Yeah.
Okay.
so you guys. This is you guys starting the next day and going. Oh well, Defiant. The Peltist started the first hour of their alpha shift. Everyone sitting down and they jumped right on top of the planet and they went. There was no slow roll and saying hi and checking in. It's like no, we're here. Go.
Yeah.
Like you guys just got your coffee. Like oh, they're already fighting. Oh okay. Jeez.
Well, fighting's a strong word. We were
Yeah.
winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Domination.
Pretty handily.
Are you winning, son?
Are you winning, son?
Yes, handily.
I mean, that's the thing, though. It's, do you really need us?
It's
You
less
are
of
pro
a-
captain.
Yeah,
It's-
it's less of a thing where they like need us to help, and more of a thing that like, well, you're the head of our squadron, and it probably would look better if you were there.
Yeah.
Show up at least to
Yeah.
help smooth things over with the transition after removing a sector governor from
Yeah.
office.
Yeah.
You're kind
Probably
of
a good
the
idea.
face of the operation. Like we're
Yeah.
more the
Shows
iron
shows
fist.
up late. shows up late to the coup with Starbucks.
A little bit.
You would though.
But, you know,
Anyway,
The only trade-off would be if there's any extra intelligence or advantage you want to have over the Delphine system. Because if you leave now, and you probably aren't going to get back here because you're probably going to have other duties because Delphine isn't a pressing matter for Tiger Squadron anymore. But it's like you're already here and the other problem's being dealt with, then you might be able to hang around a bit and maybe get more information. Assuming you want to, that's the other thing. You might not want to bother.
Yeah, I feel like the fact that we now know about Klingon smuggling in the region, it like that's the big real, like what's going on here at Delphine is more a symptom of the problem.
I mean, also take into consideration when I was reading up on the governor, we got a name of a specific Klingon group of pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we do have information to proceed forward, like putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. Yep, we have more pressing matters to attend to. In which case, plot us a course to what's the name of the planet that the sector governor's at?
Safe 3.
Safe, right? Plot us a course to Safe. I wouldn't say maximum possible warp. I don't want to shake our engines apart. I would if
hours.
I would.
Captain, I will say, you are coming in at under the amount that you're rated for your max.
Oh, okay.
Speed at. So like, the
Okay.
Kismet can go to 9.985 for 6 hours, and you'd be less than 6 hours.
Okay. Oh, then yes.
Well, I will drain you a bit of power by the time you get there.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only downside would be draining a bit of power, but we can.
But I think getting there early is better.
Yeah, we can tank that much power because we have the
reactor.
The order the captain will give is get us there, maximum warp, tap into the reserve generator.
Kismet breaks line with the Delphine, reorients.
Clear, we made sure everybody was off the ship. We're not like taking people with it. Okay.
That's why it took a whole day. It's like, oh, now we're having people hang around for a bit, some aftercare. It's like, this takes time. Actually, since I'm here, could you take a look at my hobo? I mean, you are here, and we are going to be here all day, so sure, why not?
Yeah.
So. Oh, that's the wrong music. Stop.
I was going to say, like, boss music.
Peltus gets reports as the day goes on that the Kismet is underway at max warp, ETA 6 hours.
Has anything occurred at the Rift yet?
The Rift, there's reports from the... Actually, I can show you the map of the Rift because a team is already down there.
And they've been down there for a couple of days.
Okay, I'll make sure I didn't set something. I didn't.
They've been down there for a couple of days with a reconnaissance specialist.
So the Luminous Rift is a strange location, unique to this world, and why this place is kind of drawn as much attention as it has. There is a unique fauna that grows into the mountainsides. So I think each line is one elevation increase, going up and up and up and up. And in this valley, there is a new structure that wasn't there before. This is something Belmont either constructed or discovered. That isn't 100% clear yet, because the team has only been able to get to this location and get settled into the high ground to watch down into it. Actually, as to that end, there is high mountains up this way. The problem is it's well within the sensor range of this building. So if anyone was going to hide up there, the building would see them. And maybe not by line of sight, but it would detect your life signs. You'd be blown. But if you're further out in the valley, you can either on foot or in shuttlecraft, you can approach a lot more subtly.
Unless you had
before
those,
they see them.
Unless you had those sensor scrambler things on you, like we used to get into the Diamond's office in the first place.
Yeah. So they can be situated. The other thing is that you'd have to. This is a long drop down to them as well. Whereas if you're here somewhere, it's a down and then go. So the complication is here that beaming into these locations is incredibly difficult. Due to basically what all these are luminescent fungi that that give off energetic signatures of very low band radiation and subspace disruption. Nothing that's too harmful. The planet seems to adjust to it rather easily. There's been suspicions over the years that this is an artificial construction, but various geologists and botanists and what have you have looked at this place and just are divided on whether it's an artificial construction or this is just a unique planetary event that just happened to be here, or some remnants of some other civilization. It's on and on and on. That said, though, that does mean that any beam-ins in here are very difficult in general. So what most people do is they beam out into the nearby regular plains or hills and then take a car or a hover car and just fly over through the valley and then go on foot and walk around. For the most part, this is a tourist attraction-y place. It was kind of a scientific academic thing. But when the team came down, they found out about this structure, a glass pyramid-like structure that was not detected on sensors, wasn't noted in the Diamond's logs. It was just here in the valley, nestled in a very, from a security standpoint, from a tactical standpoint, a very annoying spot to come at them, because it's a very good vantage point for a facility to sense anything coming at it without being noticed straight away.
Okay.
So that team can be deployed anywhere on the map other than inside the building, because that's straight up raiding it.
Yeah.
But they can be deployed anywhere out here.
Probably around here.
So,
are people approaching this on foot regularly, or does it seem like anything that happens like a transporter inside the building?
They've never seen people transport into the building. They've only seen people drive in or fly in with hover vehicles.
Okay.
There doesn't seem to be any landing pad because of the way the structure's built. There's a garage that people have to come into on the lower floors. So secret security team. Actually, ninja. That's better.
Yeah.
The intelligence team.
They're ninjas. Shush.
All right. Does it have any visible security?
They're not sure. There's a lot of presumption based on the size of the facility that there is some security. The vehicles drive in with relative confidence and are able to move into the building, so there must be some sort of navigation sensor array. The building that advanced, it looks to be fairly, at least Federation standard tech and design and architecture. So without actually probing the defenses, like doing a task roll on their end, they don't know. But they presume until they do a detailed scan, which you can do, but it's going to eat some of your support to go through their rather detailed report of what they found, if they make it.
Oh, what does everyone else think?
I think we could go for it.
Just go.
I think
go
you should
for the
surrender.
report.
Join the other side.
Hmm?
You should join the other side.
Yeah, just a fix. Like, either
Right.
could have the team just go ham, like, oh, well, other things come up here. Surprise, there's someone a lot closer. Or
Mhm.
we can go for information.
I mean, we've got one cruise support left. I'd say we spend it for some information.
Sure.
So who are the ground team of Spy Team Yandy are you activating?
The reconnaissance specialist might be a choice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which one's that?
The Orion. Sheena,
Sheena. This one. Oops.
chief specialist, isolated colony Orion.
So it is going to be actually it'd be incomplete information. So insight plus security. Actually, I'll put it this way. So it's either insight security diff 4 because she's observing very carefully for a long time and then writing notes and making educated guesses, or reason security, she kind of has to sneak up a little closer to the building, get a good clean scan. So it's easy, she'll get better results, but there's a complication where she might get noticed. She might have been spotted doing it.
Okay. She has the constantly watching talent for anything regarding threat to herself, lower difficulty by 1.
If she gets a complication, she'll get a roll to more easily notice if someone noticed her. Like there'll be an opposed roll to see who noticed who.
Find this talent.
I think,
I wrote them down.
Honestly, with insight security, you could probably do the observation focus.
Mm-hmm. You could probably pull off either focus, that focus, even if you get closer as well.
Yeah, probably.
You also infiltration.
Mm-hmm.
Oh right, this is Varro's student. What would Varro do?
Observation,
the
less
one who
risk of
taught her.
detection.
There we go.
Less risk of detection there.
I was like, oh wait, he taught her. There we go. So yeah, observation, diff 4, insight security.
He taught a few people in intelligence over the years.
Yeah. Does anyone actually want to roll her, or?
Yeah, sure. I'll go for it.
Hell, you've worked with some Starfleet intelligence over the years. Like Starfleet wasn't helping Bajor, not officially.
Yeah.
Insight security. Focus.
She
yes.
has bold. Let me figure out what lead investigator was again.
Shoot, what is lead investigator?
That's
it gives-
2 bonus momentum after a successful task to investigate a crime.
Right.
Does this count?
It would. Not in this case, but
Not
down the road.
specifically. Yeah.
Not yet. All right.
Actually, no, it would, because this is all part of your big sweep
Okay.
operation. She's doing recon for the raid.
And let me find constantly watching for you.
Cool. Spend 1 threat and 2 momentum to roll 4.
Okay. Oops, that's not right. There we go.
When you attempt a task to detect danger or hidden enemies, reduce the difficulty by 1. Is constantly watching.
Oh, is it? Yeah, straight up it would reduce the diff by 1.
All right.
Just straight, yeah.
So it's rolling against a diff 3 now. Re-rolling that with bold. All right. Generate 1 off that
With 2 bonus.
with 2 bonus. Yeah.
Or, enough for an advantage or whatever you feel like.
see what information we get.
So one thing that her observations note is that there's slight glints of something off in the opposite hills. What appear to would likely be security forces that are observing the valley and the nearby area.
Mm-hmm.
These two glints are fairly far apart, so they're probably some sort of just regular rifleman types. This one has a distinct yellowish orange hue to its glints, which indicates a scope.
Mm-hmm.
And it has the highest ground that you could get without losing sight of the valley and the opposite plateaus.
Isn't here like it's convenient that we chose this hill instead of that hill?
Something high ground.
This facility does seem to have, by Sheena's estimations, has subtle energy arrays along the seams of the building. So the entire building, all those seems to go all the way up to the top of the pyramid, are array bands for energy disruption. If one wanted, if those were phase arrays, that would be overkill. Like that, you only need like maybe 2 or 3 bands at most, and not even that. One band for a building that big is plenty. This thing has if all of that is an array, and not just some of it's tractor beams, some of it's for shield emitting. But if that was just a straight up weapons platform, it would have a ton of ways to shoot at things in every direction possible. A facility that big could house a reactor, which means it could have the same power structure as a ship, and it doesn't need to warp around. So that saves it a lot of power for shields and shooting. She hasn't seen shields pop on this place, but it's the paneling structure makes her think of polarized hull configurations. It's not as good as shields, but it's in effect the same difference. It's just it's easier to breach than a shield is. Polarized hulls don't do as well against energy attacks than a proper shield bubble does. There's that also said, that means that if they don't have to wear a warp field, they could have internal security. There doesn't seem to be any hangar bays. There doesn't seem to be any launch bays. It has a garage. And during the time you guys have been watching the place, she hasn't seen anyone drive in. There's no patrols that drive out or anything. It's just a place people drive into and a place people drive out of. So all the security is this. If the outer security for the valley is probably these guys. The bands would be anti-ship attacks. Beyond that, the majority of security is inside the building, if at all. But with that big a building and you had the resources to do it, why wouldn't you? Even if you have to bring in your own batteries and plot them in the ground, if you were worried about, if you wanted to defend the place, Sheena could think of a few ways you could do it. But yeah, that's the information you get so far. Unless you want to spend momentum for additional questions. And this is all information she probably would have sent up to the Pelts. Once she knew it was arranged. Oh, hi guys, ding, here you go.
Yes, they've been in position for a bit, gathering info and such.
No, that is just 2 bonus momentum. It's not specifically 4 questions. You can use that for an advantage.
No.
Just had to reread that to be sure, because sometimes it's got that specific word of...
Oh, I will note that because you did the insight one, that's how you spotted them. If you were trying to scan for them, you would have detected a lot of this. You would not have detected them because these luminescent mushroom plateaus mask life signs rather easily.
The wisdom of Varro.
Yeah. Hey, there's a reason that guy had an insight of 12.
God.
Yeah. So maybe set up Soren as a counter sniper.
I think we technically can't because we don't have any more support.
Oh, damn it. Oh well.
Well, if you go into a new scene, you'd be able to reset your crew support usage.
Well, if that's the
Oh,
case,
so we're
we
not
still
using
got-
using Tachibana or the other guy.
It's just you only have 3 people that the Peltas can help coordinate with and stay in touch with, outside of the main team.
So if that's the case,
Right.
you can deploy 2 other people right now.
So we could do heavy weapons guy to be like, I wanted to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right, Efrix?
I think Efrix might be away still.
She is be right back still, yes. Oh well.
We'll put him there for now. Boop.
Because that is exactly his specialty.
Yeah.
Oh, irritating person? Well, I'll deal with irritating person.
And then, yeah, depending on how much we can like utilize the team that we have here, because I forgot about using crew support for them. We could also use Killab to try and gain access to the facility.
Gain access, power things down, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, what's that? You've got internal security? Well, they're on our side now.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is the elite team.
That is kind of horrifying to imagine still. Killab's kind of scary.
In all the right ways.
Like, he's kind of scary.
Yeah. Intelligence team.
I don't know what you're talking about.
God.
The voice makes it better.
Oh, that voice.
Okay, that's the 2 bonus we've got.
So good.
Yeah.
I was thinking spending that toward maybe an advantage of there's an access point that Killab can get to unobserved.
That Sheena notices, yeah. You can spend it for that.
Once this starts, you go there, and that's where
Yeah.
you can do things from.
Oh, okay.
So, if he approached to this area, he could try to get access into the garage or one of the service entrances along this edge.
Mm-hmm.
And once he's inside, he can try to get to systems, and once he's got into the system, well, yeah,
Then it should be over.
Guess game plan is probably, oh, the team that's already here start dealing with these things, and we just,
Yeah.
oh, Thunder runs some vehicles up while Killab opens the garage.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't it's not very traditional, but it's the best we can do with not being able to transport things directly down.
Yeah.
And once Killab's got the doors open, you can just run in anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And if he does turn internal security against them, well, oh, that makes things easier.
Oh, well, I'll see what I can do.
All right.
God.
He's amazing.
Is there any anything from the Peltas you wish to deploy into the valley?
From the put Varder down.
I just want to say maybe Varda Myth and some security teams.
Yeah, I could go down farther.
Just keep in mind that you'll have it's the same thing as before, where you could either use your character, you could spend your player turn for your main character or
right.
for one of the support people.
Honestly, we might just want to have these, like, roll with these support people, do a little scene with them.
Well, that's the thing. If Varda and Myth go down, then that's still me, Grennan, and Efrix as the support people.
That fills it out pretty nicely there,
Yep.
Myth.
Good. That's true.
We're Thunder running, and they're covering us, and the security team. We get one of those nice little whatever vehicle that was Picard was driving around in Nemesis.
Little buggy.
Little buggy.
Oh my God. Screw the Argo buggy. Oh, screw that thing.
Right.
I don't
So
even
you
know if
want
we
to
can
ride?
fit one of those on the Peltist, actually.
Probably not.
The
Probably
station
from the
might have
station.
them.
Yeah, that's what I think. It's probably from the station.
Yeah, that makes sense, honestly.
Come on, security team.
So for the away team, are they bringing any? They tend to bring any extra gear with them before they go on the raid. I'll actually let you guys have a think for a second. I'm gonna refill my drink.
All right.
You know, a rifle's not a bad idea for me.
Yeah, rifle probably would be good. I can actually also use a rifle to decently good degree.
I mean, the aiming reroll all dice thing is.
Yeah.
If you top that on the fact that I get to reroll as well with additional things, it's kind of stupid.
Whereas for me, it's more like if I can reroll and I use my augmented control.
Hey, I've
That
got
makes it a bit better.
augmented fitness for a thunder run.
Yeah.
I don't need a vehicle. I can just Terminator sprint the distance. You think they'll surrender if they see that?
Oh, hey, Efforts.
Hey, Efrix.
Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah, we'll fill you in on the idea at the moment. This thing could take out ships, potentially.
We've got a security team opposite of the forward team. So Sheena spotted a bunch of stuff. Caleb's gonna advance and hack into the facility, and Soren is providing counter sniper support.
Yep. This one's a sniper.
Okay.
These are riflemen. Sniper riflemen. Sheena's a good shot herself. I mean, she's recon.
Yeah. I mean, all of these people are good shots.
Oh yeah, that's fair. They are all security based.
Yeah.
I mean,
but yeah.
Caleb even as a 14.
Yeah. Like, these people are all well trained.
It's almost like we can jump the nerd. The nerd turns around and just holds out on them. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Thing is, I'm debating whether myth is more useful here than us, like, spending... Like, seeing about spending, like, some momentum and stuff to grab a fourth person out of the landing team.
I think because it's being used as crew support, I don't know if we can.
Mm-hmm.
Just pull in Clive Peterson, the demo guy.
I was thinking demo guy or the meta guy played before, because she's good for, like, close protection.
Yeah.
You picked with the wrong guy, motherfucker.
Oh my god. Oh, every time you say something, it's just great.
No, you missed it in the infiltration episode. I was like, oh right, let's just.
No, I watched that episode.
It was a great episode.
It was.
I went
it was
back
good.
and watched that episode, and every time he said something, and every time Efric said something.
Oh yeah. Gun, nothing bigger than these guns.
No guns bigger than these guns. Soren had some good lines.
That was.
That is going to be his new
Also,
value.
my out of character rant about telling a Santa Claus.
Yeah.
You better watch out. You better watch out. You better watch out. You better watch out. Oh god. So good.
Probably the same people that went over to the park and shot off fireworks from 6:30 till like 10 o'clock on New Year's.
But yeah, I don't know anything other than a rifle myth.
I don't think so. I think we can get access to their computer systems.
Yeah. Any weapons you guys want.
I think we're literally just 2 rifles.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it helps with getting into the building and helps with myth, Caleb does have the experimental adaptive multi-tool.
Exactly.
That's right.
So I can just make something up and say, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh yeah, so we've got a game plan, we've got gear. There was also, 2 rifles, type 3s, for Varder and Myth. And we're assuming these guys are already equipped, because I think that was part of the last infiltration mission. They had their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Watanabe saw to that.
Yeah. In the right book I am.
The question is, does Soren have a Type 4 with a scope mounted on it?
Please say he does.
For
Do I need it?
No.
Type 4 is like an anti-vehicle cannon.
Probably not.
With
then.
a scope.
With a scope, like, my scope is bigger than your scope. That's not even how that
Exactly.
works, but it's what matters now.
I want it to happen.
I will say it would have the deadly quality.
Yeah,
For
I don't
obvious
wanna kill
reasons.
these guys.
We'll probably not go with it. It's just amusing.
Yeah. He's probably just got a rifle.
Like, I think
For the away team, it's going to cost you 1 opportunity and 4 threat. Because it's 2 escalation per person, and you only pay the opportunity cost once.
Yeah.
All right.
oh, we'll do that. And yeah, we're gonna load up a security team in the back of the truck as well. I think, weren't we?
Which will cost
if
you
we
1 and 1.
can.
If we can, yeah.
1 and 1 for a security team.
Wow, that's a lot of threat.
It is a lot of threat.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess Captain, you've got Sheena,
Yay.
who is Varro's student.
So kill her as soon as you can, okay?
Ooh.
I'll give you bonus gold if you do.
Bonus gold?
Wait,
We get gold?
Sure, you can get gold
Bonus.
pieces. I don't know what you use it for, but
Wait.
you'll figure it out.
wait, what was that?
Pay
Flirt with her
for
as
it.
soon as I can?
Well, I didn't have
Isn't
to
it
tell
right?
you to
Flirt
do
with
that.
yourself.
I'm gonna
Uh,
let that. I'm gonna let that sit there.
Yeah, I've got too much for that one.
So,
Oh wow, the GM is a lot of threat.
Yeah.
I know it makes me feel so nice. It's more than I started with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And all of these guys are bold.
Every single one of them.
Every single one.
So, any other gear prep you are going to do?
Uh,
I got
The air is breathable. We've got myth. I think we're good.
Yeah. According to
Oh, we were
Vardy,
gonna-
you saw the sheet, the planet sheet. Is there anything weird I noted about the planet surface? I don't think I did.
Didn't give me a planet sheet.
I thought I did. I thought I gave it to somebody. Definitely Prime. doesn't.
Pinned, I think, had access to it. Right?
No, I have
No, that
Tyrell
was
Belmont.
that was yeah. Are you sure he didn't give you access when we did the one-shot mission?
Well, it would have been a message I would have sent.
Oh,
I'm
got it.
checking it out.
I can check then. I don't think.
It's not in the main channel.
Did we need to declare Caleb's adaptive multi-tool thing ahead of
No, that's a talent. But yeah, it's a
Okay.
Talent. No, you didn't send me anything regarding atmospheric conditions on the planet.
No, that was the other planet that I have info on.
Yeah.
That
That was an offhanded thing of we don't need masks. I wasn't saying I think we do. It's reasonably sure we don't. It's never been mentioned that these are dome cities.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah, if there's nothing, then there's nothing. Oh, it'd be over here. If there's any special notes, it's on this sheet. I'll check. I don't think
Did
there
we-
is. So I would have repeated it to myself a bit on my GM notes. Yeah, no, it's
We're
just
not taking armor, right?
I think you guys are. Yeah, the dedicated team of people had it,
Yeah.
but Varder and Myth, nah. We've got
It's okay.
resistance anyway.
No one will hit you.
we're in
If I
a
hit-
we're in a car.
We are in a car. We are thunder running.
Yeah, but if they happen to have a Type 4,
Then you go steal it.
exactly.
That's your toy.
They're not authorized to wield those. You are.
Anyway, Rudder and Myth will vroom vroom in once y'all start shooting.
Well, would you like me to open the doors first?
Yeah, I think it goes Killub, Soren, and then Myth and Varder, basically.
Yep.
Okay, so your intent is to assault the place, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so
Well, kind of.
Well, yeah.
Our intent is for Killub to open the doors and try and get into their computer system. And then everything goes off.
Infiltrate, then Thunder Run.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll leave it there. I'll leave it at this music for now because you're not in combat mode yet. So Caleb is the intent is for Caleb to sneak up to here.
Mm-hmm.
So fitness security opposed. Because the sniper might notice a person creeping up on the building.
And this is why Soren is providing.
Yeah.
Fortunately, this is an intelligence team, and every single one of them has infiltration.
Mm-hmm.
Well, except for me, but it's fine.
For Soren, who's like, I don't need to infiltrate.
Big gun. You don't
Yeah, I think-
see me.
I think Mr. Peterson also doesn't have infiltration.
God, I forgot.
Mr. Peterson.
Clive Peterson.
Clive Peterson.
No,
He's
does
the human.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mr. Default Human Name.
Yeah.
At least it's not John or Jack.
He also is carrying 2 Type 3s in his picture.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think that might that might be a Type 4 on his back.
It might be.
Yes. We're best friends.
Mm-hmm.
We
He's
talk
got a
about
Type
guns.
2. He's got a Type 2 on his hip, Type 3 in his hands, and a Type 4 on his back. Whereas the Type 1, it's hidden.
It's in his shoe.
Yeah.
You don't want
He
to know.
doesn't have it.
It's his shoe.
Are you spending GM?
The other option is you don't want to know.
I'm gonna spend at least one. I know that because I'm supposed to be careful about what passes through here.
Let's just say his farts are deadly in a different way.
I'll spend one in return. I don't have bold security, so it's just an extra dice.
Just to match me up.
Or no, you know, like the pirates with the like knife in their teeth. He's got a Type 1 in his teeth.
No.
Reroll the
God,
20 because I
no.
can, but that's not gonna help.
Oof.
So 19. Yeah, no. They see.
Woof.
They got nothing.
Oh boy.
I just evaded that with the reroll.
The sniper's asleep.
Oh, there's this
Yeah.
car coming down the road. They're kind of busy with it. Yeah, Caleb's able to sneak up to here without being noticed or shot at.
I would like to access the building, please.
Control engineering, difficulty of 3.
Computers infiltration.
Infiltration still. This is just plugging in, getting access to the panel. And you have a tool to pop the latch open to get yourself in. So it's easier for you.
I'll spend
Keeping
the
an eye on that.
threat for the reroll.
Okay.
There's so much threat.
Sorry, was that a 3? So that's 1 momentum.
I think we
Oh,
also
jeez.
built up to like this much threat when we're doing the infiltration mission in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Keeping
second it's a
an eye.
bold team, it was like, oh,
Soren's keeping an eye out on the movements of the enemy.
oh hey, that's a couple people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just paid for reinforcements.
As more reinforcements come down to take up position, you see them signal to the other teams, going, "Yep, we're here. Don't shoot at us, please."
Looks like we've got some reinforcements.
Caleb is able to get a access panel open.
Would I be able to gain access to internal cameras?
He can attempt to. It's an opposed roll. If he succeeds and gets a complication, he will get access, but someone will know he did it. If he fails, they'll also know he did it.
Seems fair.
But if he succeeds, then momentum's gained, and they don't know anything's wrong yet. I'll note that this this has the rules of a facility, so I will get 1 ship die on top of the security person watching the building. Spending 1 threat because that person. This is a very important building, so it's important they don't
No,
screw
it's
this
not.
up.
You can go for your evening coffee.
1 threat to momentum?
It's the middle of the day. Why would I do that?
Yeah, I'll be doing
Yeah,
that. I'm just trying to think of how I wish to use the adaptive multi-tool.
Mm.
I'll be spending 1 threat as well.
Yep.
So I'm just going to reload, but because I have a popped out momentum refusing to go away.
Ah, yeah.
But I assume infiltration or computers will do the job.
Computers, yep.
Could I use the adaptive multi-tool to... Considering it worked so well on the station, to provide me the ability to stay hidden? Like, electronically stay hidden.
You can do one of 3 things. You can either remove the risk of the complication being something that would give you away. It would just give me threat. Another thing you could do is add a complication to my end where the way you're infiltrating is weird enough that you've increased my complication range. I might be misled. Or you could just straight up increase my difficulty by 1.
I think I'll go for your difficulty by 1.
Okay.
Just have to wait. Just waiting for the sheet to reload. And yeah, but because of that, my comp range goes up by 2.
Oof.
Oh, wait, I should have the right sheet open. That'd be smart. I should
We
do that
believe in
now
you.
before you roll.
And did you say it was control engineering?
Control security or control science?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just waiting for everything to fully load back in. I'm getting the server connection.
Ah.
Favorite loading screen.
See, if you buy the membership today, no.
You can load in just about the same amount of time.
But you'd skip the ads, so.
I mean, if something goes wrong, Soren does have ground-based security systems as a focus.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got the stream open. I'm gonna roll the dice, so it's gonna be there for people to see.
Okay.
I got 2
Yeah, we
2s
can-
and 2 1s.
Oh, we
Yeah,
can
I
see
see him.
Nice.
Oh, you can see it. Okay.
Oops, that's wrong.
you see
I was like,
Excuse you.
oh,
Oh no.
Mm.
I don't think that's enough, but
I can't see
Ugh.
the GM's roll.
that's
a
1,
one-
a 10, and a 9.
yeah,
So that's 1, 10, 13, and a 9 because he's got the
I
Facility.
don't.
Oh, he's got 4. Okay.
yeah he's got
I
facility.
thought he
Yeah.
was re-rolling. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think he beat you, but you
Well,
might
he's
not
also
get
got the
any more.
difficulty increase
Yeah.
Yeah,
from GM side, so.
So you've
depends
got
on depends on what that 13 is.
you've got
One.
7 hits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
3 total hits on my end.
2 out of 6, so that's 3 momentum.
No, with the additional one, we would have gained 4.
Oh, that is including the additional
Yeah.
one.
That's
Oh, I got
including it.
4
GM
initially.
took one away. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sorry. I can see my roll, but it's just not loading properly for me, so I'll reload again.
Got it.
Aw. Poor Pind. So I believe Caleb is in, as they say.
Has internal cameras.
Is he able to identify how many people are inside?
It looks like. Whoops! I have him on the wrong layer.
Ah, there he is.
There's just the representative himself at the apex of the building. There's no one else inside.
I'm gonna hold the other momentum that we've got until Pen's back in.
Okay. There does seem to be a lot of automated movement of small drones that are flitting about the building.
All right.
Is it possible to take control of the drones?
Oh no.
That was thinking.
Yeah. I was thinking too.
Either take control of them or take them out.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I'm removing his security systems, and once I've done that, I can just open the door.
To gain access to the drones, it will be a I'll let you choose. Reason or daring, science, difficulty 5.
Would you allow?
Be warned, if you fail, you notice that there is a security measure that's meant to cause a feedback loop toward whoever's illegally accessing the the drones. That seems to be a feature of this building's security system.
Ah, but you see, we're legally accessing the drones.
Exactly.
Yeah, tell the computer that.
Sure, we have a warrant.
That's what you're trying to do. Yeah, no, I'm totally supposed to be here.
So with the adaptive multi-tool, considering I'm not making someone else's difficulty higher, would I be reducing my difficulty by 1?
You would, and I'll up it by 1 with 2 threat.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you made him burn
some of my threat, you know.
Would you allow engineering?
Add complication increase, because it takes longer.
I'm gonna do it. Let's come for.
Amazing.
Let's go.
Yeet.
1 for bold and 5 momentum.
All right.
Do we? Oh, we do have it. Okay.
Oh.
And I assume computers or infiltration will probably work.
I can't steal a Pen's extra momentum.
Say again.
I can't steal.
Yeah, you can't steal mine. Like I said, I'm trying to load and it's just being ridiculous.
Said
No, what were the focus
computers
requests
or
again?
Computers or
infiltration.
infiltration, yeah.
I take infiltration. You're using engineering.
I am.
I take infiltration and increase complication.
Oh no.
Really?
Yeah, go on.
Not
And
computers?
don't do it.
Because it's an engineering thing rather than a hacking thing.
I'm gonna make the roll, but after I make the roll, I'm gonna stop the stream to see if that'll help with my connection.
Okay. I see how it is.
No, so you'll be able
And
to
I'm
see
not
the
sure
middle.
what I'm
Or-
implying there. Don't mind me.
This is a terrible idea, Pend.
I
That's
love it.
a good idea. I love it.
It's a great idea.
Ah,
And I got a reroll.
Mm.
So that
Mhm.
is 3
Yes.
ones. Oh,
2, 3,
oh, so you
4,
can see that.
5, 6, 7.
We
Yeah,
can see
we
that.
can see yours. Yeah.
okay, then
yeah,
I'm just
we've
going to
been
stop
able
the
to
stream.
see
Yeah.
those.
I'll still record, but I'm just stopping the stream.
Oh,